Hello everybody. Hi. Um, Welcome to a watch party. Which I have not done. Uh, I've never done one of these. I'm gonna turn my camera on. But yeah. Hello. Um, just gonna be doing a watch party. A little less, formal than trying to do, my own casting. Yeah, this is just gonna be a short stream. We're just gonna watch NRG versus Furia. I wanted to do this one, first of all, because I have time, compared to some of the other matches, but also because, this match in particular is, important for the standings overall. Whichever team wins this will put themselves above the team that loses. What I mean by that is if NRG wins, they'll be at a 4-3 record, and so will Furia, but NRG will have a higher map differential, so they'll be on top. So yeah, if NRG wins this, and of course I'm going to be rooting for NRG, we're rooting for the United States. But yeah, so yeah, let's just get into it. It looks like we're gonna. I mean, it's gonna be a little while before we get started. One thing I wanted to talk about, because I completely messed this up yesterday, or not yesterday, last week, when I was explaining what the play-in relegation tournament was for. I thought it was gonna be for the top. I thought it was gonna be for the top 4 teams in playoffs to try and earn themselves a spot next year. But the way it's going to work is they've actually changed how you're going to qualify for next year's challengers. Because like Valorant is like a new, or like competitive Valorant obviously still isn't completely figured out as far as like how they're going to do it. And so they're still trying to figure everything out. So this year, in case you didn't know, the way that these teams were decided is 6 franchise teams were just invited. Those teams this year were M80, The Guard, TSM, G2, or not Moist Moguls, FaZe Clan, and Shopify Rebellion. And the other 6 being Moist Moguls, Oxygen Esports, Turtle Troop, Mad Lions, or Esports, and Disguise, all had to go through the open qualifiers to qualify. So 6 teams went through an open qualifier bracket to qualify for challengers, and 6 teams were invited, right? So they're changing the way that it's going to work next year. So the way it's going to work is 10 teams from this year's challengers qualify for next year's challengers automatically. And the way that they're determining these 6 teams from this year's challengers is the top 8 from Split 2, or not from Split 2, but the top 8 in circuit points, meaning the teams that qualify for playoffs. You get a surefire spot in next year's challengers, assuming you don't make it through Ascension and qualify for next year's Tier 1 competition. But in theory, assuming none of the teams that make it to Ascension through playoffs this year qualify or win Ascension. Assuming none of that happens, the top 10 teams, or sorry, the top 8 teams from this year that qualify for playoffs get a surefire spot in next year's Challengers North America. Now, the play-in relegation tournament is for those bottom 4 teams that don't qualify for playoffs. The top 2 teams from this are going to also qualify for next year's Challengers, and the bottom 2 teams, you're going to have to try and qualify next year in next year's open qualifiers. So, if your favorite team has already qualified for playoffs, guess what? They get a free pass into next year's challengers as well, so you'll see them there. So the Guard, M80, Moist Moguls, these are teams we will, or G2, these are teams we will almost certainly see in next year's challengers. Just a little FYI. And then again, bottom 4 teams that don't qualify for playoffs get to play in a little bracket, where the top 2 get to qualify for next year's challengers. And then yeah, the bottom 2, they can still go through the qualifiers next year, where 2 teams will be determined in the qualifiers next year rather than 6 like it was this year. So if you don't make it to next year's challengers by winning play-in relegation or making it to playoffs, you still have a shot next year. You just have to go through the qualifiers. But yeah, that's just a little asterisk. And in case you're wondering about the timeline, Uh, so the way everything's sort of gonna work, Challengers is happening right now. Lock-in already happened. Playoffs is gonna happen, or sorry, Americas is happening right now, as well as Challengers. And then we get into all of this fun stuff. So the International League playoffs will start on the 19th of May. At the same time, the Challengers League playoffs will happen on the 19th of May. Um, so this is, I'm not entirely sure the International League playoffs are, and I don't want to say stuff that I don't know for sure because I'll end up lying like I did last week on accident. But for Challengers, it's what it sounds like. So the Challengers teams from across the globe in all of the different Challengers regions, the those teams that made it to playoffs are going to play through playoffs from June or from May 19th to June 11th. Meanwhile, also happening right now is, or before this, is Americas. The top three teams from Americas, I believe. Yeah, the top three teams. Oh, you know what it is? So there's Americas happening right now. There's EMEA happening, and then there's Pacific happening right now. So the top three teams from all of those make it to Masters Tokyo. So this is the playoffs that we're talking about. Is the playoffs for Americas, playoffs for Pacific, and playoffs for EMEA. This happens and starts the 19th to the 28th at the same time as the Challengers League playoffs. And the winner of the International League playoffs, or the top three teams from the International League playoffs of each of the regions, so Pacific, EMEA, and Americas, they all make it to Masters Tokyo, which is the start of the pretty much the season to make it to Champions, or it's a continuation of the season through Champions and Masters. Um, and so but what I'm going to focus on right now, just because this is what I cover, is the challengers. So the way that challengers works is right now the challengers leagues are happening across the globe in different regions. Um, and starting May 19th, the challengers playoffs will start. And the top two teams from each of the challengers leagues get to make it to what's called the Ascension Tournament. Now, this Ascension Tournament takes place from June 28th to July 16th. I'll be covering this as well. And the winner, there's only one winner of the Ascension Tournament, and that winner gets to play in next year's Tier 1 competition. So they'll be playing at Lock-In, they'll be playing at Americas, or EMEA or Pacific. Like, they earn a spot there. Now, it's only one team, and I believe there's something like six challengers regions or something like that. I can actually look it up. How many challengers brackets are there? Balance 2023. Here, I'll tell you. Hold on.
He could call a double fake off that. He could literally call the fake of the fake and then walk back B, show the smokes, then walk contact. And like you never know
Maybe it's
what to
here.
expect when someone like FNS is on the other team.
Yeah, no, he truly is.
No, I want to know like how
him,
many.
Poster, stacks, some of the most brilliant. Yeah,
Here,
can't forget about Sadak. Some of the most brilliant
balance.
minds, in the game right now, and you're seeing it. The proof is definitely in the pudding there. But what also
Here, let me
helps
see.
out too is when you have players that are able to
Let's see. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think there's 16. Yeah, it looks like it. So there's 16 challengers teams. And yeah, so the top two teams from each of those, so that would mean 32 will make it to Ascension, which is a tournament where, again, the top team, that only one team from all 16 of the challengers will make it to Tier 1 competition. And yeah, so that's why I said, like, the top 10 teams from North American challengers get to play in next year's. But if one of the teams that makes it to Ascension does also make it through Ascension and wins and is able to play in Tier 1 competition, then they'll probably open it up to 3 teams getting to qualify in the open qualifiers. But because there's a low chance, right, that you're that a team that made it through your challengers will be winning Ascension, because it's 1 in 30 or 2 in 32, so you've got a 1 in 16 chance. It's not a great, it's not great odds. So you don't plan on the fact that, oh, maybe they'll make it through. Instead, you plan on the fact that they'll probably won't. So that's why the top 10 teams get to qualify, and then or get a free spot into next year's challengers. And then if, say, one team makes it through to Ascension, so they no longer need the challengers, or win Ascension, so they no longer need the challenger spot, they'll open it up to someone else, or they'll just like invite someone else. I'm not entirely sure what they'll do. But yeah, so that's pretty much how that's gonna work. But we'll go ahead now and get to the actual watch party, which is the challengers watch party. Or not challengers, which is the Americas watch party. So this is tier 1 competition. I don't cover tier 1 competition, but essentially right now what they're playing for in Americas is a spot in Masters Tokyo. I'll show you the timeline again. But so what's about to happen at the end of May 20th, so at the end of May 19th, is EMEA, the EMEA League, Pacific League, and America's League. These regions will all, at the end of the 20th, will all start their playoffs, where the top 3 teams from each of those regions go to Masters Tokyo to play each other for the Masters title. And then from there, we go to Champions. Yeah, this is like, this Champions is the competition. Like, this is the #1 title. Like, this is what you're fighting for, right? Winning Masters Tokyo is also good. Like, it's still a good thing. But it's not. It's not the title you're looking for. So yeah, you'll see 3 from Americas, 3 from EMEA, 1 from Lock-In EMEA, 3 from the Pacific League, and then FGC Invitational, which I don't know what that is, but I imagine it's a similar thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. But yeah, we're getting ready here to start it, so I'll go and listen to the casters a little bit. I'm not doing my own casting this time around, so we'll go ahead and listen.
Furia go from the team that gets close, that almost upsets a top team, to a squad who is actually consistently in our top 3, top 4.
Yeah, I agree. And you're really going to be looking, I mean, it's Mimi's favorite subject, jet matches. You're going to be looking at the jet match. You're going to be looking at Digizin and Artis here to see who are going to be the ones to really, push this forward for them, because you want to see that player just pop off and have those moments. And Digizin needs to be that guy here, because Artis is going to be hungry for that, Mel.
Especially with that roll swap with Artis back on the jet. He's unbelievably hungry, but speaking of roll swap, DJ Zine, he hasn't had any roll swaps. He's been playing the entire split on the jet and Chamber, as we've seen on split, so a lot to expect out of him today.
There is, and his last game, he had a huge recover. In the few matches where they were struggling against Loud, against C9, and in the very close game they had against CG, it seemed like he was struggling quite a bit to get involved in these opening duels, and oftentimes was kind of making a few unforced errors, maybe wasn't perfectly set up, but in the last match, it seemed like the coordination was on point with his initiator players. He was individually playing fantastic, and it's the same case for Artis too, now back on the full-time jet, like you're saying.
And the coordination with that initiator player as a jet main is really what I want to see out of Furia. Kind of what I hit on yesterday about Crew. Strategically, it might not be up to snuff with the likes of FNS. Come on, he's like a world-class IGL. He calls double fakes, triple fakes. And I haven't seen that much like that out of Furia. But tactically speaking, when we see how they hit a site and how they're able to take advantage of small little advantages in the round where the spacing is good, the initiator has a flash, it's going to look good.
Yeah, we know that the firepower is there, but now I got to ask you guys who you think's going to win. Yeah, we're going to do some little predictions here real fast. This is a big one because Furia need this to clinch the playoffs. And we have both NRG, and I also went with NRG, but I can't find my board right now.
It's gone.
But I think this is overall going to be an awesome matchup because we have 2 teams that are ready and hungry to take the stage. 2 of the world's best duke it out first shot at Tokyo and beyond. It's NRG facing off against Furia.
Listen, Cloud9's already making it to playoffs, right? We need more North American teams in there, okay? That's all I'm saying. Warning.
Is advised.
This is cool. I've never like seen the intro to this. I'm always like watching like while I'm doing something else. Like I'll be talking to my friend or like something, and I'll like have this pulled up in the second monitor. Because like again, unless like one of the challengers teams from North America makes it to tier 1 competition next year, like I probably won't be covering tier 1 competition, just because I think tier 2 is a little bit more fun. Because tier 2 feels a lot more like realistic Valorant in a sense, where like it's not so much like perfect play. Like tier 2 feels like it's a lot more amateur in a sense. I don't know. I find it more enjoyable to watch consistently. Again, I do watch this like in the background, and I might do watch parties for the playoffs for Americas and stuff.
I think Furia's a strong team. They've
but
played really well so far this season.
yeah.
And they had no idea. MW with 2 big ones. Mas olha só a movimentação, Sadak. Novamente o primeiro a ser punido. Leva o twist. TGS!
Cara, o time da NRG pra mim é o mais difícil do campeonato pelo fato de NRG e Loud são dois cabeças pensantes absurdos.
Want to see, and here it comes. There's the timing. It's Som slide off angle wins his duels and more.
In terms of dealing with Furia, we're just gonna treat it as any other team. We like to focus on our own game.
Jumping straight up, you got to be taking his fights clean though, and it doesn't look just that likely. The frenzy's in the face, half under the fuse, sticking it through. No, gets off of it, trying to double play it. Derek, you need to win this fight. Oh my word!
E com certeza, alguém vai ter que se preparar, que a gente não vai dar mole. A gente vai chegar pra ganhar realmente, com intensidade. E a guerra é deles, mano.
First swing out. It's a 1-for-1. And they use the reckoning.
Ooh. I do think it's weird that we do this in like North America. Like obviously it's in LA, so like if Latin American fans want to watch, they could maybe make it, but it's still like, I don't know. I guess it's hard to find a place to do it.
North America's NRG,
and a lot of teams are based in LA already, so it just makes sense to do it here.
Right now, let's see how this plays out, because Mimi, these two teams are going to bring it, I think, today. They look excited and ready to go.
They will, because for Furia, if you win this match, you have a third team into playoffs. And for NRG, the rest of their strength of schedule is quite difficult. They still have Loud remaining. Winning here is a big step towards keeping their chances of playoffs safe.
Winning that, or winning this rather, is also a confidence boost going into Loud. I mean, we've seen Loud, again, we say it over and over, they're not perfect, they're not mortal, sorry, they're not immortal. Whoa.
I mean, I don't know, the way Ospas plays, sometimes I don't know if he's mortal or not, you know what I'm saying?
After watching their last match, maybe they are mortal.
He's got divine light on him, you know what I'm saying?
It's going to be huge for them to get this confidence boost going into next week as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a difficult situation for NRG to find themselves in, and one that I genuinely just didn't think that they would be in at this point in the season. Coming into the America split, we were confident that NRG, top team in the league, no problems whatsoever. They tried different things. They went for some unique strategies. It just didn't work out the way that they wanted, but it's nice to see them back to the things that work for them, Mimi.
It is good to see them returning to that form. And for Furia, it's good to see Carlisle returning to the team. This is only the second match in Americas where they've actually gotten their coach with them in person. And the first match they played with him looked really good. They almost were losing out to MIBR. But at halftime, they had a talk and they came back in impressive form on Pearl and stomped Map 2 as well. It seems like this squad is renewed. They're returning to the form that we came to expect in the first few weeks from Furia.
Yeah, and I do wonder too, right? Like the added pressure. I know we always talk about pressure, but Mel, as a pro player, you can probably attest to this because you do feel it when you're on that stage. Those guys, those 6 guys know the stakes that are on the line here. When you go to playoffs, you have a shot at Tokyo. How do you think that they're handling this one mentally right now in your professional experience?
I think having their coach back is going to be a huge aspect of that, honestly. Having that ability to just be up on that stage, and the pressure kind of fades away if you have that coach that's there.
We can already see they're in bind.
He's able to motivate you, give you those tack timeouts that you need. You're not going to feel too stressed during the game if you know you have that anchor to lean on.
And to
I
talk
wonder
about
what
the
they're.
maps now, this to me
I
seems
wonder what
like
they're
a
going to
good
be
veto for
playing
NRG.
on
They're
to
very
the
willing
first
to
map. I
balance
wonder
their
what
plan
it's going to
around. In
be.
this one, they get rid of one of Furia's strongest
NRG could have
instant.
picked
And for
anything,
Furia,
really.
they're
I
had to
mean,
just perma-lotus,
if
which
I
is
had to
nothing
guess, though, I'd
NRG
say bind.
also
Oh,
dislikes.
wow.
All
I
that
mean,
means
that's
that
nice.
NRG gets to pick into bind, a map that Furia have
I don't know.
not shown yet,
I'm just.
and that NRG
I'm there.
looked
I'm that
incredible.
guy. I don't know
mean,
what to
NRG,
say.
you look at how they played last week versus 100 Thieves. They lost a 1v4, a 1v2,
Yeah.
a 1v1. They lost a pistol, yet they still won 13-7. That is incredible.
absurd.
The macro and their gun rounds when they're not losing clutches is insane.
And map 2 is going to be another display of NRG's excellent macro. Haven has been FNS's playground for ages, and Furia is good at it, but these first 2 maps just look so damn strong for NRG.
Yeah, it is a bit alarming. I know that everyone's like, man, talent's always going for NRG. No, this series layout looks good for NRG. It's really hard to argue that. Furia have to have a plan.
And you have to give that credit to NRG because this is a squad of champions in the past, and they're starting to hit that form yet again. But let's narrow in on bind. We already talked about the Harbor Viper comp for NRG. And Mel, my question of you is, do you think they go in the same direction? Already we're seeing the Brimstone instead for Furia.
Yeah, I think we're going to see that from NRG. Did Furia play bind last week?
Not
I think
yet,
they,
no.
they left it open, so they are expecting to play this, and they have a week of footage, a week of time
No
to look.
Gecko.
They were expecting this.
No, I
out of
feel like we're
NRG.
going to see
So
Gecko
this is
more
some
on bind
ancient
because I
history
feel
that
like
is
bind is
out.
one of
It's
the
been quite a
few
while.
maps
When I cast it.
Gecko really works on.
But it has come back into vogue on maps like Split as of late, and Furia, I think, have traditionally done very well with these double dive comps.
I've
When you
also
talk
found
about
one thing
teams
with
that are
Gecko as
tactically
well
strong,
is
this
I've
is what-
found
this is the
in
comp you
lower
wanna run.
elo,
All right, we're
Gecko's
all set, so
abilities
let's go
are
ahead and
so
send
much
it over
more
to your
powerful
casters.
because
I
people can't hit their
choose you.
shots,
Ben
right?
Tilly and
Or
Remington.
they can, but they don't. They're not quick enough to like shoot at the blinds, you know. So I think Gecko's a really good agent in lower compositions. Not lower in lower elo. In pro play, I feel like he's a difficult agent to use well, but I do think bind is one of the few maps he's good at because there's a lot of choke points that if you get deep enough into, there's like the offensive side of things, like through mid, market. Like if you can get deep in there, like say with Thrash, you can do some good damage. And I think Gecko is a good agent to help you get deep in there.
And maybe it's a place where Furia
So,
can attack.
I don't
If they
know.
were watching last week, while Sam was playing that harbor very well and very confident on the map that's returned, there were still a few of the harbor walls that were punishable. We saw the team refining that strategy, so we'll keep an eye on that as well.
All right, let's
As we get into these rounds, Furia look to default Viper
I
wall here
believe
up
this
towards
map is
mid and
offense
go
side.
very fast.
Oh yeah, they're looking to go in with
Actually, I think it
Fury
might be
and
defense
already
side. I'm
getting
not
the first
sure.
blood. 2 kills coming out from NW0.
I'll turn this down a
As they
bit
take the
more.
advantage into the A site. Unorthodox right now is they're still trying to clear towards the site.
Okay.
Artis trying to fight in the back, but gets knocked down here by Dejazine. A 3-on-2 now.
Come on.
Assam is now discovered by the Trailblazer. Look at Furia, just
Nice.
moving across the map. They don't care for this plant. They just
Nice.
want to fight, but NRG
Oh,
does
nice.
so as well. In the flick of an eye, it
He's
becomes
running.
now Metzine on a 2 versus 1, having to clutch this towards the B-side plant.
Just unaware
Me
of that throw
personally,
it on U-Haul control.
I challenge that.
Easy
I
kills
challenge the
from Azine.
1v2 on A. I don't want
No
to.
util up just yet. As it's counting down, there's a guiding light for him to detect, to get a little bit of info.
Oh, that didn't see anyone. That's unfortunate.
From NRG, grabbing
It's good
the
though. First round, let's go.
Really nice reactions within the site. I feel like NRG thought they had taken everyone out almost, and everything was still in front of them. But Sam sneaking around there, able to figure out Mazine was in that U-Haul. They
Check the
rotate
air on
early
my
after
face.
his kill and get that defused. Nicely done. NRG now into a buy round here. See how they keep moving Sam around the map as well. How they're
Ooh,
using this high
stingers.
tide over and over. And then
You know
where this
what? I
wall will
played
go.
with
We
this
just
Stinger
saw that
today, and
Finesse
I
used
was
it
playing
through the
Valor earlier,
teleporter to also block
and
off showers,
like
something you can do now on Bind.
I had a Stinger against a
We're trying
full
to just
buy,
play this map to
and I
slow
got
Furia
2
down.
kills
You
with the
can see
Stinger,
already
picked up a
Furia
Vandal,
wants
and
to
got
go
a third.
fast.
Like, I feel like the Stinger is better than I thought it was.
Sorry, I was vibing to
Because,
the
like, they
track there.
buffed it,
That is
obviously,
it.
and then
I just
everybody was
noticed that
playing
the
it, and
other
I
day, too.
tried it then,
Just
and it
add
just
little
didn't feel
things each time the
good.
maps are coming
And then they
live.
nerfed it. And I feel like
Default,
it's still good. Like, I
riding
feel like the
right
nerf
down
didn't
B.
do too
Digizine
much
and
in the
team
way of
still
making
want
it
We have that
worse.
Sheriff in the hands of Digizine here and MW Zera.
It's just
See
about
if they can get
controlling the
some
spray
impact frags
pattern.
in.
Furia was just trying to walk into the cloudburst to avoid the guided light being thrown out by Crashies for that information. As we're scaling up slowly, 4 players up towards B long, but still a late lurk towards showers. It might be one of those rounds where we're looking to get the control towards the orbs unless we get some kills into the B site when this wall comes down. But Furia, once again,
I'm like, trying to get this
GD
hair.
mentioned it. They have to come out with a plan. It's going to be the protocols, playing it very
Bothering
slowly,
me.
trying to
Okay, there
find
we
these
go.
gaps, take
I
advantage
got it, kinda.
of their eco round in the second round.
Yeah, right. Stay ahead of finesse. Or finesse, rather. Not the easiest thing in the world to do. A good flank, though. I like the pressure from QC or Quick coming out here on the right side.
Oh,
Denizen does
come
open up
on.
the site, and he'll have elbow control as the team can slowly scale in now. Spikes
That's my
down.
kind of aim.
Covered by Victor
Ooh.
in the hookah.
That's an error in the column right there, because all of Furia were looking to suppress and support.
Nice.
Digizine inside this B site,
Yeah.
but the
It's a
spike's
good pick,
down
though.
out
You
in
have
the
better
open in
guns, so
hookah.
trading it off is
Double
a good
support
place
out
to
there, and
be.
it's the last 2 players of the
30
support for
seconds
NRG,
left.
actually.
One enemy
As QCK
remaining.
did get a
No!
pick. Now a pinch coming through.
Nice.
And
No.
was on a 2 versus 1, and somehow the air column still gets fixed for Furia on that Thrifty.
Coming up with a very
Wow.
big round. I thought it was almost a mistake that Fury was so split there, trying to find different ways in without enough cover or utility
Really
to
gonna
give
let
each
that
other, right?
happen.
Digizine was so far ahead, and we still saw
Unfortunate.
that QCK was on the other side of the map. They lost smokes almost right away, but still come up with the frags on the round. So a little bit of an error there, as you said, by NRG. And now it will be 3 guns on the
Somebody
board
almost
here,
says his ult,
with still
though.
a few low buys from Mazine and QCK. Fury, I don't think
Oh,
will
they're
relieve,
I feel
let
like
up on the
Reckoning
pressure.
is not a very
They have
useful
been
ult.
farming orbs for MW Zera,
Like, it's
and I
good
think
for
we have another
vision,
one
and
right
that's
here in
it. Like, I
Showers
feel
once
like
they gain
of
control.
the ults in Valorant, like,
It's gonna be a
from
lot
the
of
shadows
showstoppers
and
NRG's
Reckoning
gonna
are
be
probably
putting up
2 of the
with if this
most,
kind of
like,
ground can be gained each round.
like, I don't want to say
Little bit of a
useless, like, they're still
trying to clear out artists,
useful, but they
actually, so
provide
he's
the
able to stay
least,
safe, but,
like,
Mazine still knows.
Yeah, it's still getting pinged out.
Oh,
they provide the least, like,
to 3 players right there. And yeah, nothing really that NRG could do to clean up some kills.
I don't know what the word is
Highest
I'm
buy
looking
that
for.
they had was a stinger, less finesse gets the
use.
flank
They
here.
provide the least use, but they're not
Not gonna
useless.
happen, but a
They're
showstopper
just,
now
I
ready
feel like
into
they're
this
not,
round.
Takes a
they're
Viper
not
to
as
know
powerful
Viper there.
as some of
Quick
the other
turnaround
ults.
by- quick
As
turnaround
most
kill
of the
for
other ults.
QCK. And now we'll have guns back on the board. Som does have the Reckoning. So if MW Zera does decide to go for the ultimate, there may be an opportunity to completely split MW from the team with that Reckoning and take him out as he comes into the site, nullifying a lot of the effect.
That
of
raise
the
grenade
showstopper
could have been
coming into
good.
this
They just
round.
weren't in an
And
angle
honestly,
to
it's a round
hold
NRG needs,
hold them pushing
having
out.
lost that second and third after their
I
pistol
feel like
round.
they should have thrown it closer, or like tried to throw the grenade so it'd go off closer to the opening rather than so deep in the opening.
And Artist down.
Wow. We had a reckoning available
Alright.
for the retake. For
GG.
He wanted to try to play on that information, fall back and react, but they had no time to react.
Darn.
Those instant
Tried
kills
our
coming out
best.
from the duelists, Digizine and NW Zera. And this is going to be a long attempt of a save now for the last 2 players of NRG. Already going through
Oh,
TP,
come on,
Finesse
bro.
falls, and it's up to Crashies. Being lurked up now.
I
by
actually like
QCK
Bind.
with support from NW Zera.
I played Swift Play on Bind
Gets the first
today,
one.
like to warm up, and I got a
Been a little
600
bit off.
average combat
Wow,
score
had an
with like
opportunity to line them
22
both up,
kills.
but now all of
It
NRG
was
lose
Swift
their
Play.
weapons. Nothing to work with moving into round number
Which
5.
was just like
Furia getting the first kill every round so far. We'll trigger
ridiculous.
a timeout here. Coming in from NRG. Things
And the
are
rest of my
falling
team
apart
was like
fast. The
irons,
NRG,
like they had
even with the
default
thought there
crosshair.
to
I was
throw
like,
the high
alright.
tide early into that mid-air short area, get a little bit of space, but it was instantly taken. Nobody even cares. There's the wall of water in front of them. And just forward they go.
And that's a great point, actually, you bring, Riv, because that high tide is supposed to slow people down going
Right.
through it. But now you have a jet dash that goes through it
No.
and double satchels. It doesn't slow down too much. Because you have to react quick behind
What do you
that.
even do in these
But
situations
again, NRG
where
didn't
you're
have
like,
a chance, so the timeout's being called. And they
mm,
have to adjust now to this aggression that Furia has been pulling out
I guess
since the beginning of this bind map.
you get
So if,
ready
the
for
way
them to
protect
be
for this
pushing
is if you
into you,
continuously
right?
see MW0
You would
farming
just
these orbs, you just have to kind of push and pull like somebody's ready to hit a home run. Start backing up
like
to the
you
outfield,
you
get out of
play
the
like
sight,
sort
and
of
make sure
pushed
you can
up,
get
and
back
then if
in
you
for the
don't
play
find
itself
anything,
with
you
enough
back up
members, 'cause
and like
Furia is
let them
getting
push
to these
into a
sites,
little
finding
bit, but
Energy
like
2
try and
members down,
watch where
right?
they're
We saw
going
that
to be
dash in
pushing
there.
into.
It's
I don't know.
pretty interesting
It's
the way
it's
that they're able to
there's
get
a lot
in
to
and just make Energy look discombobulated right away.
deal
So 2
with.
ults now, Crashies with Seekers.
Two
They
ults.
should be able to defend out here. If getting a few
Still that
kills, we may
reckoning.
see those ults used so Energy can secure this
I
low
don't
buy
know.
round.
Late buy.
Furia on a tear though.
I feel like this, at least this first half is not going well for
Energy.
NRG. Well, obviously it's not going well. They're losing right now, but
some eyes if they see him other than this guiding
I
light
feel like
making
they're
info
not
contact.
playing as strong as
So Furia now trying to play a little
maybe
bit
it
more
would
of the
be
map
expected.
and get Energy mixed around.
You see the
Like
changes
the
from
momentum
Body
Pure
now with
has
the
right now.
teleporters. You could bring that
It's going to
toxic
be so
screen
difficult to
across the
play
TP,
through.
cover up Hookah,
Yep.
cover up B, and then also even cover up the Showers area. But again, it's another one of those satchel pushes from Furia, taking control of Showers very early. And Energy forced to play these tight angles just behind these doors, behind these corners. Doesn't have the advantage with the Stingers that they currently have. Full armor, of course, on top of that for Furia.
Yep.
That's
They're
gonna
playing
mitigate a lot
slow
of that damage
now
coming out
because
these
they
Stingers.
knew Energy would be ready for
They're
them to play
mitigating a
fast.
1 minute mark hit with a quick cascade
But
towards
that's the
mid.
thing, like if Energy's been ready for them to play slow this
Artists
entire
all up,
time,
so they're trying to deny everything
I don't think
right
you should
now.
play into that. Like you
If
obviously
had a bit of
you've been
that
playing
signature ability
aggressively,
used at
and they take a
40
timeout,
seconds
so
would be
like
up,
you're
expect
aware
a
that
second
they're
hit
going to be
just
using
about
that
this time.
timeout as an
So
opportunity
Energy just
to like
playing the game safe.
counteract the quick play.
Trying to figure out what's happening. There goes Digits in again.
But I think you just continue to try and play fast if you're Fury here.
But it's still going to be Furia taking over this A
Come
site.
on.
You had the opportunity to play behind these high walls.
Yes. Come on.
Victor's not going down without
We
a
didn't
fight
take
until
any
that one.
damage
The
there.
swing out
What
from
the heck?
NW0. And it's
It's
up to a 3
insane.
versus 1, but yeah, as I was trying to mention, they were trying to fight behind his high tide, but Madzine Seekers really foiled all of those plans.
It's round after round. It just doesn't seem like they can get an answer on what Furia is doing here. And it's what they maximize, right? Being able to gather the utility to help Citizen, to help MW0. And even in different situations,
Nice
if it's
try.
just MW0, that utility changes, and they make sure that it's
I
confidently
mean,
towards the raise, towards what a raise can
I don't
kill.
know.
If
Energy's
Stitches
just
in, it's
losing
more
their
of the
their
util finding
gunfights.
more backside, because he'll keep going. Really interesting way that Furia is able to scale the
Like that's
site
gonna
or
impact
choose
so
to stay
much at
back
the end
and
of the
still
day.
play this fight game here, right?
If you're just
It
not
doesn't go up
finding
and
any
over.
picks,
He
it
stays
doesn't
early
matter.
for default to get the quick trades. And it's a little bit later for MW0 to finish the round. Really versatile right now from Furia.
So another slow start for Energy. On bind just as he did
Still have
versus
2
100 Thieves
ults.
on this
Just gotta
very
stay
map.
alive long enough to use them.
This time no cloudburst though, so you get the early information from the guided light. To self-boost the adjustment to put more towards the B garden.
Artist is gonna get.
And thankfully this orb, yes, it's
Just
going to
find
be
one
back a
before you
bit.
get
There's gonna
down.
be a lot of utility to push Artist out of his position.
Nice.
Opens up with the first kill, avoids the rest
You
of
kill,
that
you
lead.
kill.
Takes it away, and a showstopper comes out from
Oh.
Showers to connect onto Khalil.
The first bit of shower control we've seen now from Energy.
And QCK's always been good on the
He's
work.
still on Mazin, but he's
Answers
near
back onto
teleported.
Victor. It's up to Som by himself into the A site until he has backup coming up here from Finesse. Both players of Furia in this A site just trying to hold out towards U-Haul, towards Lamps.
Noise and TP maybe?
It's going to have to be potentially the last second. It depends if you get this position, this ground control, this map control towards the A site. That's the case. We'll get the TP out through Showers.
It's actually great that that guiding light hit.
Energy
It's
just not
pulling
giving
the
anything.
confidence of Energy, knowing that they have one, but the anchor of Artists right now could be the play. It almost looks like Mazine wants to second guess this and head back with the team as they have so much site control right now. But 30 seconds mean he's going to have to haul over there and get into position.
Gets a pit out.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't push up for teleport. Oh,
NRG
come on.
punishes Finesse running out. Gets a second
Oh,
crashes
come
as well.
on.
The reckoning comes out from Som. Disadvantage now for
What are you
Energy. 10
doing?
seconds left on the clock. The plant comes down. And the players of Fury are playing inside of this pit. Madzine's still alive to get the heal up onto his teammates. Som now. Position given away by a flash. Pushing out towards the default, gets picked off by Madzine. Leaving our Artist solo. And he's going to cut his losses. Moving back here to save the weapon, and that's Furia. with a punishing blow from Digizine right under heaven, out towards that A site.
Exceptional map control right now by Furia. Even trying to find themselves numbers down in situations, they're still able to encroach a little bit more into enemy territory, take the entirety of A, and pressure NRG's hand into a move that gets 2 members killed right away by Digizine. Like, absolutely incredible stuff. This is what they need here in this run, in this final run that they were talking about that Digizine mentioned. 5-1 now. Here is NRG are getting taken down on Bind. Their pick coming in, and like I said, we haven't seen too many other teams now on this Bind map. They did play 100 Thieves to it, about 9 there, but you can't put it by a team. They haven't been practicing the heck out of Bind right now. And Furia looks to come with a little bit of counterplay too, to exactly how NRG wanted to play their defense.
100%. You get that definitely from the coach that's finally able to meet up with Furia.
Yeah, Carlisle, so helpful.
And Frost.
Come on.
Pages of anti-strat usually being put against these teams, any team that they play against. And now an eco round.
No way, dude.
Why
are you looking so wide? No, you've got 2 there. You're not looking at it. That's crazy. Hello, Finesse. Good pick. Come on.
Yep. NRG actually go for a big move on this one. Big kill by Finesse there, but already damage done by Digizine over there on NRG's wall, playing it against them.
Big flash.
Right in the retina.
Alright.
Little ping towards back here. They
Oh, the timing.
trailing.
Thought he was gonna go for that knife for a
See how long he
second.
waits.
Yeah.
Another weapon upgrade.
I think you just saved the
Now
guns you
decide,
picked
do we
up
wanna
at
save
this
these?
point.
And we are.
Yeah.
Artist is already
Yeah.
at 800, so these are going to be very important weapons.
This
moving
is
to the next
so
round
like
for
tough.
NRG. But one thing at least now for Furia is cycling through these ultimates they hand round after round, starting from a
Here's at the
showstopper, then to a
6th
seeker,
round.
then onto a pit. Digizine still
I
has
don't
his
know, man.
daggers. And 1 or 2 rounds away, you may have Khalil coming out with the orbital strike, so the protocols of really cycling through these type of ultimates. Playing aggressive around the ultimates too for Furia is paying off.
Incredible what Furia can do at this point in this game.
Although,
you look to Digizine on top, 4-0
that
right now. First kills, first
Blade
deaths.
Storm for so
Victor's
long.
at 0-3. They're finding ways to shut down the defense.
Dude, Digizine
and
is
the offense
crazy.
of the defense, if you will. Victor cannot get this chip damage in. He can't.
I just got. Let's just hope like his op game is not as good as his
Okay, so
handle.
they're
You
gonna
know?
all quickly
Like
onto
the
A.
opposite of an op crush.
Sorry, onto B long. And holding A with 3 right now. So NRG trying to force the hand of Furia a little more. We just saw Finesse pushing mid. They have to start putting something on the docket in the beginning of these rounds to make Furia think different.
And it works out quite
Speaking of
well.
op
The
play,
pit that
let's
you
go,
have
Victor.
Down towards long B. Crash is playing behind it. You can flash through it. Play this off angle to get the kill up
Okay.
to NW0. And you're trying to funnel your opponents into that operator from
So you
Victor.
play a
just
buy,
ring and
find
get
those
the
early
first blood into the
picks.
round. Same thing though on the attack.
no.
Digizine has his own operator.
Yep.
Oh, not those 9.
It's only those 3 players trying to move forward.
Oh.
Up shot miss as
That's
the Blade
unfortunate.
Storm also does for Digizine. As we're falling back here towards this B site. Mezzine still has a flash to work with. Crashy's trying to find an information and gathers it, so that pulls now Artist to rotate from this A site to B for support. Here comes the full hit. But it still crashes on his own. As Artist falls on a rotate to
Yeah, this
spawn.
is not good.
Big Trailblazer to get a hit.
They're like
Khalil
sticking
tries
themselves
protect
to
Khalil. He
the
gets 2
tree.
kills on that, and that's the orbital strike that we just talked about. 23 seconds left.
At least he
but
gets
at least
away.
Som gets the kill onto Mezzine. 3-on-3 is the 3-on-2.
That some kill was good, but like it's sort of
down towards
useless.
the spawn.
Like it's not super
Victor head to
impactful
head.
because
Op versus Op.
it's so
Up
far off
against
of the
Digizine and
site,
Khalil, the
you know.
last 2 players alive for Furia into this round. And as Victor peeks out,
Why are you looking at his
Digizine
legs?
gets
No
the
way,
first
man.
push in.
Silly.
A 2v2 now. 2 rifles make that 1 rifle. And a
GG.
Blade
Like,
Storm
what?
for a headshot.
They do it again? Furia is out of their minds right now. You have a team that wins 35% of their 4v5s. It's the highest in the league, and they just did it again. Actually, that was a 3v5 as well. But incredible, the things that Furia can find a member down to still work an opponent as strong as NRG. to find the way into the site. Khalil, the #1 on this. And
like NRG is just letting them get into these sites, and then they're like I said, like they in that previous round they just like forced themselves into
7-1
tree.
in favor of Furia.
I don't know. Could
Desperate
have
times
sent
now
one to
for
go
NRG.
hookah for that
One
retake.
changing
I
game
feel like
plan, play
there's
more
just ways to
aggressively.
do
3
that
players
better.
pushing forward. Does some damage onto Khalil and forces him to fall back. As Furia is also doing the same. All defaulting here to see if NRG is going to continue to press forward. We might activate a little bit later on here with a minute left on the clock, waiting for the heals to come back from Medzine onto Khalil. Op shot missed towards long B here, but we couldn't capitalize on a double swing for the kill. But Victor pushes forward. It's instant trade at least.
Oh, at least you're there to trade.
Should have had that shot onto QCK, but the
okay.
res comes out early. Same
Rotate over
positioning
B.
right again
Rotate
for
B.
Crashies. Right by the shed. The satchel coming through.
Okay.
Shot missed. The swing out for MW0. Trailblazer from behind.
Oh my. It's a dance.
I don't think it saw a finesse though. As Crashies falls, he still gets the kill to Medzine. So that's the spike down and the snake bite onto MW0. Offshot
nice.
Soft gets the kill onto Digizine. Up to Khalil now to 3 versus 1. TP's across towards the A site. Has 1 smoke left to work with, and he uses it towards spawn.
You can get this spike down, but
does he have the lineup?
All 3 players already there. Gets the first one there, the second one.
What? Okay, alright, okay, alright, okay. Alright, okay.
Take the round for NRG.
And too close, fans. Yeah. Too close. That was almost another round where Furia find the clutch. It won't happen. NRG, take a breath. NRG do grab it. But it's
that way you can see the kill
is
feed.
having absurd moments on the side of Furia right now. You can see NRG pushing up a little bit more. Getting the battle res here is very big. But any kind of ground they can gain in the beginning of a round versus Furia seems to be pivotal for NRG's information in the rest of the map.
And that was a mistake there from Medzine, not clearing that left corner with the Trailblazer, which forced the spike to fall with finesse with the corner pick.
It's just not going well. I'm hoping NRG's offense is better than their defense, but
now taking control of the orb too. A low buy coming out for NRG. Snake bite to delay from finesse as he falls back. We got judges.
Me personally, I would just stay in hookah there, but I'm also really bad.
Oh
no way. What?
That was saucy. Very nicely done. Coming out of Victor right there. And I was wondering, here's almost have a fight on hookah. I was wondering when that exchange for the alt orb and shower would change. Fury was getting that for free over and over. Once you get the Viper wall and the Sage wall in, it's next to impossible to break that.
Nice.
Little cat and mouse Victor with a 4K.
Dang.
We'll take that for sure.
That showstopper was crazy though.
And the answer back.
And that was like that wasn't even an eco round, but it was like a low buy.
Pretty much. Since this eco,
it was a forced buy, but they had no guns.
And now it's time for Furia to even try to get that lead back.
You know what I mean.
Continue that spread of the lead that they've built.
As pause comes out after the first round, Furia have not been able to plan. Very aggressive from them in this game. Being able to get into the site, test energy on the defense. There's one of the reasons they didn't plan. Nuke going into hookah, able to take out most of the team. So seeing what they can shore up in that sense, not doing too bad. But at 7-3, we do see the coach wants to call a timeout and make sure the team stays on this path to victory. Few ultimates ready. Seekers, orbital strike. Post plant becomes even stronger now for Furia once they get these plants going again. If NRG cannot stop them. And they're close to getting a 9-3 here with a very dominating first half. The rounds they've won have not been messy, clean to the end. And they've been taking their time, too. We talked about the 4v5s. They're 2-0 in 4v5s when they're down a man on this map. I talked about their percentage earlier. I forgot the average. So they're at 34%. The average for winning those 4v5s is 27%.
I feel like Brim is not the play for a smoke
Furia is
song.
pretty wild when it comes to organizing the mid-round, figuring out the best practice to get back into that man-down situation.
Like, I feel like having limited smokes is not a good thing.
Now as we resume the round 11 here in this first half.
Especially if you're I mean, I guess they do a
Default
5-5.
moving up the double clear to make sure that nothing is coming up on either ends here of long B. Operate, or should I say, sorry, a Phantom coming out from Victor in this round, actually, as they don't have it anymore. And same thing for Digizine. Vandal on his end. As Furia pulls back to go for an A hit.
I've got your trail.
Snakebite slow to start things off. Nice shot from Finesse. Swapping and Zero from the air. Orbital strike on the attack with
Why doesn't my Phantom Spray do that?
Yeah. Som is also waiting in there. Counter Seekers coming
You know
out
what
from
I
the
mean?
defenders.
Like, I feel like pros have such, like, their Vandal sprays just are like their sprays. Like, for some reason they're just more accurate. Like the RNG's always in their favor. It doesn't make sense.
Now the battle of the new barrel. Out towards the changes of the A bind. Madzine fights back onto Crashies, but
Come
still
on, they're
at a
low.
disadvantage or Furia.
That call goes out soon, like they know they're
doing
low.
all of this while Sam's still in sight, so great delay.
Wants to make sure that Furia, if they decide to TP towards the B side, could be a
Bro.
but it's not needed. Somehow Digizine
Cannot stop
opens up the site again, and the plant putting some at low HP in a 2 versus 1.
Furia right back to planting the spike. And now Sam. This Harbor Unbind, can he get the clutch?
One enemy remaining.
There is that wall
Nice.
bang to answer back at the Madzine, but he's now down to 6 HP. Trying to find Digizine here, and forces out the high tide. The Cove then onto the tap. The Gulag to come through, but he steps out of it and gets punished once
read
again.
is crazy.
By Digizine, who's coming out to play today.
Last round
Feeling
before the
so
switch.
good there. And we even
Okay,
see
we've
a
got
change
3.
from NRG on that round and how they set up. With that
That's-
high tide,
that's
then
enough.
came Artis is slow,
Right,
so
that's-
they were predicting that there's
That's
going to be
that's
this
enough
fast
for
hit
sure, totally.
from Furia, but they still can't stop it. Again, the round goes long. Furia figures out the positioning. Digizine does Digizine things. And it just happens. Really nicely played by Sam there to actually exit just a bit on a back left kind of walk, so you get the spherical help from your cove in which angle you're about to see. So pretty heady play there, but still doesn't get it. And right in again go Digizine and crew. Furia's in A.
Now Sam's trying to play Duck Hunt after he pulls out the Reckoning. Bodies flying everywhere, but it's still Furia with the first blood. Trying to delay as much as we could, but we've delayed enough for the rotate to come across. Operator in the hands of Victor. All of the members of NRG is rotated across. Operator now lost.
Like, bro, you
Victor come
can't
out
be
towards
missing
U-Haul
those.
as Sam finally answers back. And he's gonna have to do heroic plays. The full slice. Double pick pretty much.
They're still
Yeah.
in sight, and Furia's taking it.
Yep, and the wall hang on to Madzine.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Somebody stop him!
Versus 1 up to Digizine once again.
He saw,
Spots
he
Finesse.
saw.
Closing in on the gap.
God.
Dogs are peeking.
Why?
Hunting.
But Digizine wins
Bro.
that fight, and they get that 9-3.
Sam does everything, bro. He
He's loud, but I've never
kills
seen him
every
stand
single
up,
one of
fans.
them, and they just
Oh
like, bro,
my
you know,
word, Furia
like Sam was like, I got mine,
the
I
beating
got
that they're
mine,
delivering to
I
Energy
got my
right now.
4.
That was so close there. An opportunity to get things done
Oh,
for
man.
NRG. A moment where Sam could have swung it around for their side. Those 4 kills that he got through the Viper's pit.
Oh my god.
Caught into a reload. Nothing that he could do. Did his job. It's just floated across. Always saw that angle there on it to Finesse and finally closes in for the kill. And with that, it's time to toss it over to our international icon, Golden Boy.
Thank you so much, Riven Van Silly. You know, you can question the way that Digizine puts on his socks and shoes, but you cannot question that my boy's out there fragging on the server right now. Mimi, Digizine was like Mary Poppins. He was like a deadly version of Mary Poppins, except with knives.
I'm convinced that he was just unkillable. The last 2 rounds, both, it looked like NRG was going to pull something out, and then Digizine just closes things in a ridiculous fashion. And it even rewinds earlier in this game. It was just in the first few rounds that this double duelist comp got rolling. The executes were just, it didn't seem like NRG was ready for the pace.
That story begins at the start of the half. They got ecoed the second round, and then countless times we're seeing NRG up in a ban advantage, 2-man advantage, and Furia still finds a way to claw back in. This is uncharacteristic from NRG, these unforced errors, letting Digizine take advantage of that, and a player of his caliber, he's going to hit those shots.
Like 400 ACS right now. It's absurd what he's putting up. And the thing is, it's a double duelist comp too. So it's both him and MW Zera doing such a good job setting the pace in this one. I think you're seeing here some of the moments where NRG is still new to this composition. I think of that round 4 we just watched, where like someone's trying to put up a sage wall, a hard wall is trying to get thrown. Well, they're getting fully ran over. This is reminiscent of the first time that Loud was bringing back double duelists on Split, actually versus NRG.
That's actually quite fascinating, and it leaves us in a question of like, did NRG do enough Mel this half? Like 8-4, that's tough, right? You know, do you feel good about them going into the next half, NRG?
I mean, NRG's attack halves have always been insane. You can cope by saying it's a defense. They do have a very strong comp for defense, but we'll just see what they cook up on attack.
I mean, you say 9.
Yeah.
I would have thought that
you
too.
know,
They just
9-3,
keep-
sorry,
they
I said
robbed-
8-4,
no,
my
they
bad.
robbed 2 rounds right at the end. It was absurd that TG won that. It should
Okay,
have
the
been
9-3
8-4.
curse.
It should have been a better
We
opportunity
got it,
for
we got
NRG.
it. We still
but
got this,
Furia
man.
is so heavily in the lead. They're looking at peak form. I feel like this map might just be over.
Yeah, Furia is
Whoa,
looking
hey,
on,
come on.
fire. NRG
Come on,
needs
Furia,
to find
come
an
on.
answer. Let's send it back to the casters.
Let's calm down. Let's calm
Thank
down.
you, GB,
Hey,
Mimi,
this
and
isn't
Mel.
over.
And yes, indeed, a tough
This is
fight.
definitely not
a
over.
scoreline that you want to
All
see
right.
if you're a fan of Energy to start things off on their map pick. And now, as Fury takes the defense, an opportunity for even DGZ to shine on the operator. With the way that he's been playing that first half, man, they got to figure out a way how to stop him.
Yeah, it's going to be tough if he's going to be holding hard angles. And to look at, actually, just thinking back to Energy playing 100 Thieves,
See, look,
had
they have a bad
trouble
read right
containing
now. We
Asuna
got this.
blasting
Just
into the
around and we
site.
got
They
it.
lost a few rounds from that, but
They
came
have a
back on
bad.
the
They
attack
have a bad
side,
read
so
right now, bro.
almost
Furia
history
has such a
repeating
bad read.
itself here.
Just
Not in the
quickly,
scoreline,
push
but just in
quickly
the
into A,
style
bro.
we saw from
Clear it,
Energy's
clear it.
first
Nobody's there.
playing
You
game
got
here.
it.
So interesting.
Oh,
3
let's
players
Let's
playing
go.
the TP as they're going through. For
Who
Furia,
cares?
Trailblazers, they're on the site, the double to push across.
More
There's
like-
that trade,
more
but there's
like-
still 2 players to close in on the
I can't think of
Crabbies.
anything.
And he does his job. A 3 versus 3.
Nice,
Finish
nice.
On a reeler for that double
Alright,
kill
come on,
himself.
come on.
A great start for Energy into
Okay,
the
we
second
know how they
pistol.
are when they're down a player. Okay, we don't care. We're
Wow,
player
things slow
numbers.
down
Come on,
for
push
just
together.
a second here, thanks to Artist, but mid's getting pushed. Victor with another frenzy.
Let's go.
Not enough time here for
What's Quick
QCK
gonna
to
do?
come on a rotate to support his teammate.
QCK, what are you gonna do?
Now has to clutch a 3 versus 1 with only a ghost. The first tap onto the spike, the spray across. The wall comes down on the other end. Still gets
Oh,
the second
no.
kill. It's a 1 versus
Oh,
1.
thank God.
Victor huge.
Okay.
There with the frenzy. Just as
All right,
able to
yep.
recross back to sight.
I-
As Energy gets the second
I've
pistol.
always believed
Oh my
in
God, that round, I actually
energy.
couldn't
Okay,
tell if we had a defensive team.
this is the team
Furia
right
played
here.
offense
Okay,
just as much as Energy there. Coming through the teleporter right off the rip. Digizine finding
Probably.
another first kill. And it just making Energy not look as coherent as we're used to seeing them. Honestly, Digizine is just having such a day over both Victor and Artis, who are down in first kill, first deaths. He is the duelist to watch right now. He's actually just like, MW, if you want to grab my slack, you can. But it's wild to see where Digizine gets going. Here we are into a round 14. And a bit of a map split here for Energy. They're going to use just a mid wall to go up. We'll see a few different ones here from Finesse.
nice.
They try to work the map and condition their opponent. Something that Finesse is so good at.
That call
We'll
comes
have
out
to see
too.
how
They know he's
try
low.
to here in the early parts of the game.
Exactly. The cascade that was pushed forward, and Medzine thought that he had a timing to get information down towards Sand, but
It's another bad read from
Crashy's
Furia, bro.
already ADSing towards the fountain.
Just pushing to B, pushing to
Back
B.
into
You
that
see him
spot,
pushing out
doing a
A.
lot
You
of
know
heavy
that B is
damage.
probably gonna be low.
Now
on
as it
players.
gain access into the B site,
Push
the
in,
wall
push
across,
in.
the execution comes in.
Come on, come on, come on. Nice.
And Madzine gets
That's it,
punished,
it's clear,
trying
go.
to find that timing.
Plant. Plant.
All ready to rotate, at least comes back though for Furia. Paint
Plant
shells
is
ringing
fine.
it across just to delay the plant a little
There
bit
we go,
more, but
okay.
Crash will finally get it down.
Spike planted.
All right.
Yeah, they still have Finesse.
You don't
on
need
the
to push
outside
him, you
here,
can
not
play
really
back.
worried about what kind of firepower is going to be coming from Furia. They can take this with that flank watch. This could be a bit of a backstab. I don't know for who yet. Just depending on who moves here first. Looks like Finesse will get the upper hand, being super patient.
If anything, to the loss of Som,
They're waiting for Digizine.
the timing on this.
Oh, come on.
Red
Now
with
they're gonna
another
go.
cast curse.
Sorry.
Nice.
There's a trade there from Som. At least we're going to seal the deal here, rather, for Energy. They're going to be able to at least capitalize on that second round.
There we
getting the
go,
second one
9-3, come on.
into converting the pistol round that they won, which they failed to do in that first half.
Consumed and paid. Get a little bit of that money back.
We know what we're doing. Trust
Now,
each other and we'll be fine.
NRG grabbing the second one. Can they get their bonus? String some of these rounds together and catch back up to Furia and the pace they're trying to put here on to bind their first play of the map on VCT Americas now. Control ping over towards showers.
All right, you're gonna be at a gun disadvantage here, but
on the box
it doesn't
there,
matter.
play
All
a
right,
little
we
bit of
just
duelist
kill
through
them.
this
It won't
A
matter.
site.
It's
If
that
NRG
easy.
does
Just
decide to take it after all, right now.
kill
set up
more
towards
of
the
them than they
default.
kill of us, and it's that simple.
And this wall just
Come on.
continuously used now by Furia, right? Oh, actually, this one doesn't go through the teleporter. So a little bit of a miss on that one to the right. Shower control for Orb. Seekers for Crashy, so they're going to focus that up more than we saw.
Nice.
MW Zera getting focused on that raise. You can see how much Finesse and the team really prioritize that information.
Smokes down. Digizine's
Wait,
on the top
what?
of the boxes to try to get a shot as soon as his wall comes down. Spots Song crossing over and dashes in back towards the site.
Hold on.
Does get information on two players as a high tide comes out in a full
I
execution
thought I
for
saw
NRG.
something, but I'm
Sage
foolish
wall coming up for a
apparently.
safe plant. Even a cove was dropped down to guarantee that plant. It's up to
There you
NRG to hold their grounds now as the high tide's about to come down. Victor with the
There you
forward
go.
position towards the APC. We hear the TP out towards the A side.
Great
and it's
coverage.
Mazine that gets the kill into Crash. It's almost a
Nice.
punishment
Good
there
damage.
onto
Good
one.
damage.
But it's still
Mazine,
NRG at a
good.
disadvantage.
Oh,
CK.
yes. Capitalize on the
Finding
damage.
it.
Spot to the spike.
Nice.
Two left alive now for NRG. It's Artis and Victor on 2 versus 3. Victor going
Nice.
inside the Cloudburst for the kill with the Jazine. Big kill to get.
What are
As he
you?
gets traded off by Madzine. Artis on a 2v1.
Killed.
Makes it twice.
Nice.
9 HP Artis in the ambulance.
Let's go.
In the
Let's
flag.
go, dude.
Oh, he does.
That's
Get off the
energy.
stretchers. Wheel him
Told you,
in.
you just need to kill
Exactly
more of
what
them
NRG
than they
needed.
kill of
That
you. It's
bonus
that
was
simple.
huge, as we mentioned at the beginning of the round, to catch back up
Come
to
on.
Furia here. And that round actually looked like NRG had positioned themselves in the post plant for almost too many 1v1s.
You know what, Energy, they just they don't know what they're doing on defense, and that's okay.
The showers was taken.
Everybody has a
Got
side
kill.
they're not great
And
at,
it was
alright?
all
And then we
up to
switch.
Artis,
We
but
switch
you
over to
know
the
what?
other side,
Artis
alright?
has been on point the last few weeks.
And that's
Even
it. We
going
switch
back
over to
from
the other
Jet
side, and that's
to
it.
this Sage, so no worries there for Energy.
This is a very
Defense is
important
tough
round.
sometimes.
You're right now on
You're just gonna learn that now.
a smaller buy, focusing on potentially this orb for Digizine.
Come on.
Just to get the Blade Storm activated. A jump spot though from Madzine towards long. Damage
Oh.
down to 53.
Bit of a flash.
Nice.
Uses them both right away.
Nice.
Get out. Second time gets punished right there for information. Wall comes up here from Hookah. But Digizine's just holding his angle this whole time.
I
not
say
picking up
grab
any orbs.
Spike and push A.
This is a
Because
spike
you already got to
down
pick
strat
on
as
B,
well
so
for
you know they're
NRG,
probably
so
going to
you
rotate
know
over
they're
to B.
trying
So
to
you
get
grab Spike,
exactly
take it A.
that out of Mazine. Who's going to fight us? Who's going to think we're only just pushing up to gain this space to go in? No,
Yes,
it's just
sir.
a fake. It's back to A for Energy. And this is what Finesse loves to do. Wait out these rounds, see who else can push. The patience here from Sam is
Nice.
we'll find Digizine from Showers.
That might open up the A site. See the lurk coming out from 2 other players from Energy. That's Finesse and Crashies. Making sure that we clear out towards U-Haul. There's a flash to spot nothing. So the call for the rotate. The other 2 players that were
30 seconds
defaulting towards the B site,
Yeah.
group it up. As Energy now are able to walk into an open site. Thankfully they did, because if they wanted to split into the B site, there was QCK with a judge waiting there.
Nice.
Leaving nothing to chance. The anti-eco has played perfectly so far. You may lose a few on the way out if Furia can be Furia and find those weird kills. But it looks like they're all staying. No, never mind. They are not staying. I thought they were going to stay by teleport, but now they're going straight through to the site, and you're also going to get QCK.
Nice.
And speaking of QCK, he's now the last player
Please don't push
standing.
into What?
Farmed.
What on earth?
Sense today
You
here.
take those. You
That was like
take
5
those.
jaws on the floor on the screen right there. Everybody in awe on that one. Sam's Harbor on this map. You gotta call it out. It provides so much for the
Oh,
push, the
man.
space gaining, if they really want to go up towards mid, if they want to slow some things mid. We saw the Harbor Wall on defense was mostly being used
Bro,
to
Victor
control a
is
lot of what
not.
is coming up
He's
that gut
his
into
base
A.
is just
Check on PC for
But
that kill.
second
stationary,
PC,
bro.
Yeah, just seeing the
He does
defuse
not
touches
react.
He had
This
last
man.
week as well. Feels good on that Harbor, and Sam
Stone
is making some
cold.
content.
And just like that, 7-9 right now. Closed in gap, our energy looking much stronger on the attack.
Take a timeout,
much more
Furia.
comfortable.
What are you gonna do? You haven't won a
As this double
single
controller
defensive
might be
round
that
yet,
opportunity
alright?
to really split these sides open and get
You're feeling
into
pretty
here,
good
but
after that first
been
half.
a
I
lot of
can't
these
blame you,
plays
alright? You're up
converting
9-3.
into that bonus
That
round,
curse,
actually,
it comes from everyone,
against,
alright?
Furia's gun round really hurt them. For
Nobody is
Energy's
free
been
of the curse,
so
okay?
good at getting that spike down. 4 out of 4 rounds they've been able to collect here. So yeah, Furia really struggling on getting those retakes. Not one yet successful here in this second half. So really have to see how they switch things up. That could probably be reaching deep into the pockets as we see Digizine has an up now. Bladestorm online as well. And when we see Furia timeouts, I did an analyst segment on the desk on this, always look for funky stuff to happen after. They usually try to flip the game on its head when they come out of a timeout and throw something at you you're not ready for. And look right in mid.
Yep.
With an op in mid. Is he just going to walk up and shake their hand?
I need
Crazy stuff.
better
Digizine
lighting.
already in the combat zone.
Oh,
And then MW0 looking for the support too. Pain shells needed through the TP. If he needs that support from the B site,
dude.
the Flash does get information onto
That
at
robot
least one
has not been
player
able to
out
find
towards
his
B-long.
home station
That was a flash
at all.
thrown here by Mad Z. But for
I need to
NRG,
like watch
they're
him
moving
do it
quickly.
to see why he's struggling.
Showstopper
'Cause
already activated for Victor.
I'm not looking at him, obviously.
Wait,
He's
forces
behind
out to
me.
rotate.
Exactly.
Digizine is still waiting here at this cubby angle with this operator.
I've got
Are we
your
double
trail.
guessing? We're second guessing for Furia. Staying back towards the back of B site.
Oh my god.
The barrel of the gun sticking out. Digizine does get that kill on the
Come on.
finesse. But meanwhile, though, NRG has closed the gap, has made it
Okay.
into B site. Seekers to answer back, knowing that we're getting pressure towards elbow.
What are you gonna do? Our
Furia
spike's
looking
down.
to
What are you
fight
gonna
back
do?
in that angle as well. As the plant at least comes down for energy. All players are Furia towards the spawn.
What are
Three
you gonna
players
do?
of
What are you
energy
gonna do?
stacked inside the site.
Try it, bro. Try
With
it.
artists watching it from Hookah.
Exactly.
There's finding the first blood on the attempt for the retake for Furia. As we've eaten it up on a 4v4. Big flash now.
Nice.
From
Nice.
NRG as they pick up 3 kills out of that, leaving MW0 by himself. A great
Just watch
call
the
for
op.
NRG
Don't let
on
him
the
take
post
it.
line, off Crashy's
Don't let him
flash.
take that op. Do not let him get to it.
And this will seal the round now for Energy.
Trap him.
The triple
Nice.
swing there. And now we are only 1
That's
point
it.
away. A tying up bind.
They will not let Furia win a retake. And that, at the beginning of that round, I was like, oh my gosh, they're not letting Finesse mind game them on these rotations, right? Digizine came up on top of that play, but it didn't matter.
One enemy
The
remaining.
play still happening mostly inside the B site in the majority. And
Nice,
Energy
nice.
still held that strong. Fist bumps all around, and like you said, within 1 round of tying this now. And like I said before, 100 Thieves had a great attack versus Energy, but when Energy got back on attack, that was a different bind that we saw. Here, they're showing us once again how powerful they are at working the map and having the upper hand on their opponent once they get to the site. Let's see if they can get the plant down again here. 100% so far on this half for Energy.
Big snake bike pushing Khalil away. Another
Where's
flash
an iPad,
blinding
kid?
MW0. Could be the same person in the eyes of Energy as they're looking to scale back into the control of U-Haul.
Loper?
Both plant.
What are you gonna do? You
but
can't
Util
stop the
tried to
planet.
force him out. Sauce
Oh,
gets it
nice.
down. Artist gets the first into the round.
Very high tide. Coming around. Digizine slowly making his way towards Victor at this point.
Looking for the Bane switch.
Nice.
Hiding behind the wall, but the Digizine comes back with the Blade Storm. Both of them hiding inside the smoke. It's Dusty. Vandal now picked up. Spraying across, but Finesse is the one that gets the kill.
Oh my gosh. What?
Can't stop it. You
Just
can't
huddled
stop
there
the
in
A
same
train,
spot.
babe.
That's actually
can't
such
stop
a
energy.
weird situation to be in because usually
Bro,
you
some
are
is
not planting if
21
it doesn't feel
kills.
like
It's
you have full
crazy,
control of the
bro.
site. But yeah, they were
Somebody's
very
gotta
happy
stop
to set
him,
up
bro.
this
These
little
controller
fight up,
players
down,
going wild.
quick double stack towards that area. And with the wall set up, turned around behind them, it wouldn't work anyways if they did win the fight. Really clever stuff coming out of Energy there to mix up Furia on the take. 9-9 now.
After Fitz, what are you
Still
gonna do?
spending big. Operator on the side of Furia as we go straight for the showers. Flash through with an own smoke. Nicely done. Trying to break a little bit of space, but they do not get Furia to move just yet.
Now is a molly being thrown by Khalil towards showers just to push Victor back. NW0 still has his pain shells. If Energy are looking to re-hit towards showers, meanwhile though, it's looking to be aggressive for a push into U-Haul. And that snake bite allows a finesse to put out that pit. And with the high tide again, potentially another cold.
Dude, I will never understand how Viper's pits work.
NW0 already uses pain shells as NRG are slowly walking in.
Right here. Finesse used the same strategy before. NRG did to actually rotate a team over to A and fake B. This time they full A, drawing out the ultimates and still having control. So that is not going to cook U-Haul. They still go for the plant with the orbital strike.
Yeah. But while the orbital strike came up, Furia were damaging this Sage wall, and it's about to drop. So make it a little bit difficult here to go for the plant. So it comes down to this.
Oh, they're waiting for the wall.
Showers.
Cascade.
Victor, moving
no,
forward,
not
NW0 looking to clear with
Cascade is the one that you follow, that you like
foil plans
push
for
forward.
It's gonna come down to the final seconds for this plant. As the high tide comes back up here for the attack. Som still gets a kill through the high tide that he put up, so that's Khalil to fall.
High tide.
That gives the opportunity for Elite Lurk to have
Nice.
the plant comes down for energy. Opso 4 doesn't get any
Oh,
value.
you know where they
Reckoning
are.
out onto this post plant as Victor has that angle into showers. Finesse on that 1v1.
What?
No scope cannon from DGZine.
Oh my gosh.
Right into the chest. But Son gets that lurk out towards U-Haul.
What are you gonna do?
And now it
What are you
seems
gonna
that
do?
NW0 is just pinned. Out
Just gotta
towards the
run.
east side, doesn't know where to go.
Save.
And it decides to go away to save his weapon. And just like that, it's NRG taking the lead for the second time into this game on Bind. Surprising because it was a pistol that they won.
An incredibly dominating half so far. NRG have planted every round and won every post plant on this attack. They are just not.
They have won
stopping.
every
And
single
Furia,
round, bro.
Furia can't find an answer. They are absolutely
And
dumbfounded on how
they
to
used
get
one of their
energy
timeouts on the
down.
previous
More than a
half
few
as well,
players
so
before
Furia
the
has
site.
no
Some
timeouts
have been
anymore.
alive
They
for
used their
the
first
majority
one
of these
so
rounds.
early
It's
in
the
this
one of
half.
the ones on the front line here. So
Or
energy
their second one
protecting
so
each other
early in
so
this
well,
half.
covering the angles and absolutely using
Oh,
that
man.
to the max to keep Furia back. No layers from Furia have worked yet to get back in these retakes.
I bet you Furia
Low
was
buy
feeling
again.
so good
This
after
is
that
where
first
energy
half.
swings around themselves. Look at that.
And now what?
Energy
Got nothing.
dominating the second
Got
half.
nothing.
That's Som at the helm. At the top here of the scoreboard for energy and for Furia. You see this Phantom being perked. Well, for MW0 that he saved in on that previous round, rather. Trying to play aggressive with DGZine's Sheriff. But that wall coming up here from Finesse is just going to push them back. Trying to play this very patiently. QCK now being pushed away by pain shells. Even a Trailblazer to clear out towards Hookah, so that nullifies the judge.
Pretty quiet round from what we've seen before, Vance.
Exactly. And that's the thing too. Furia for the first half until now has always been very, very loud.
Ooh.
Yep.
Very
Punish
aggressive,
it.
and they don't have that opportunity now on this double duelist play on the defense to get too much value. NRG's doing a good job just using that utility to clear everything that they can before they move into these final hits.
A little bit of a hold shift around for now. A lot are here. I like the push up by DGZine to be ready for anything to come back across the map. And it looks like Cascade and the rest of this util will be the fake. Nobody's there immediately. They have to regain the space, Vance.
Oh,
The timing on that, they
nice.
from the east side. They wanted to go for a trap play for paint shells into Sands, but instead NRG off this timing moves into an open A site.
How is there no call that? No, they're not in sight. Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe they're ready to play full retake here, but it just looks like Furia got absolutely bamboozled. They are stronger coming back together on this eco round. So maybe they just wanted to get themselves to safety. We'll give them benefit of the doubt for a moment here as DGZine comes around the corner to crash his Phantom.
Yeah, Crash is just waiting there with the Vandal.
Oh,
as
the timing.
he gets
Nice.
that easy pick off. We potentially had that power numbers back towards the spawn when QCK could maybe try to retake with the judge, but there's a lot of that time that's being wasted so far. It's not looking here that Furia wants to try to attempt
God.
to hurt the economy of energy. Also not wanting to give away any of these ult orbs in a situation that seems to be lost for Furia. Also wanting to keep this Phantom that NW0 kept on that previous round.
Wow.
So protocols are in for Furia. The patient game, playing the long game on top of that and trying to get their money right until these final rounds of Bind.
NRG not letting Furia's timeout come into play, not letting any of these defensive strats affect them, and Finesse continues to call
America,
around
baby.
what's happening on the map.
North America. United
wall
States.
set up
of
here
America. That's what
on
it
the
is.
side of Furia, looking to just cover
We're just
more
better.
towards
We're just
Hookah.
better. You know what I mean?
Maybe expecting artists to get up.
Yeah, we're sending Cloud9
for a
and
battle
Energy
horizon somewhere
to
on
playoffs,
that B
bro.
site.
What are you
Double
gonna do?
push towards showers for Furia here. It's going to be a quick
Let's get 100
all-four,
thieves
it
in there
looks
too,
like, for
fuck it.
MW Zera, so we could have a showstopper here that Furia's planning on in the next rounds. Oh my, he's so aggressive with the
Oh.
Trying to do a little bit of a punish here from the timing of the Trailblazer.
Okay. Alright.
The heal did come out here from Artist, so it was potentially a wallbang.
Here.
They haven't fully taken shower control yet either. Being very patient. Digizine backside here trying to hold, but this looks like a commit for Energy. They've done this all 5 in the same spot, and they just set up this little protective area, and Furia does not seem like they can break it. Here comes the wall, here comes the cove. Plan is down with 2 and you all.
Artist is trying to get that punish with the Vandal against the operator of Digizine.
What are you gonna do?
Now wall gets instantly broken on the defender side. They're trying to retake already 4 players inching in from Furia.
Spikes down.
The TP coming out too. Crash, she's looking for the late lurk. 3 players are inside
luck,
the showers
Furia,
here for
good luck.
Furious. They're closing into the new boxes. Som with an off angle down towards Towels as Digizine does make the operator ring to
Dude,
make
this
it the
flank.
player advantage for Fury on this retake. And it's working
What?
out for the defenders. The lurk doesn't work out, but the flashing will. It's going to blind so
What?
but he only gets 1. It's at halfway. It's up to Artist. He does get the first pick. The second one.
silly?
And now back up to the tap.
Oh my god.
The high-low then in
Alright,
the
it's okay,
end.
it's okay. It's just one round. I mean, you can't win them all. You can't win them all. Alright. Maybe I went in a little too confidently on that one. I'll
Finally
be
locked out. Find that
you know what?
defuse.
I'll be real.
A little bit more room
I was
on
a
these
little too-
rounds. They have
I was a little
so
too
much to
BM
work
on that
through
one,
the
okay?
side of Energy.
I
That
acknowledge.
just being their first
Can't win them all.
retake
Alright.
of the second half. And yet that just tells you how punishing this has been. And a big factor for the retake, the start with the operator and the team flooding in together right here. We got a little sketchy there at the end. On somebody might have made a call that Artist was short, but he was indeed showers. This operator. Oh, they hear the blast packs.
Oh my.
Wall from Victor.
What a pre-fired shot there. Predicting the repeat of somebody at least, and it's Digizine with the operator. And that will initiate Energy's fast take into the A site. Still a player behind here towards U-Haul, and that's QCK. Trying to find the timing as it gets the headshot to finesse.
Nice,
After
good
that
punish,
go by
good punish,
Crashies,
good
as they're
trade.
still looking for this plant, making sure that nobody else is
Go,
pushing
Sam,
up
go.
for Fury, at least for now. Coast is clear. Cove is down. The plant now comes in.
Oh,
It's rocket after rocket. Pain shells on the ground. No damage onto NW0 as he moves in. Out towards showers now. The
the
wall
show goes on.
blocks the showstopper from doing any damage. Seekers then to get a bit of information. The flash to follow behind the Seekers. It's time for Crashies to play behind the towels. A flank coming out from Madzine as it's currently being watched by Artists. No kills are coming in yet. NRG with the protocol play. And Furia looking to fall back to pick the operator and save here. Do some damage, but it's not going to be enough. I mean, NRG's rich.
Oh,
And
nice.
the operator doesn't
No
get
on.
saved. A big round for Energy to put them at map point.
Fourth round. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Furia?
There's no way they buy another op.
What are you gonna do?
That's
You gotta win 2 in a
huge.
row.
Digizine's at 100 credits.
Look at him.
Crashies enjoying everything about it. It's that gum buff. He's still chewing gum. Gotta check that gum. So where will they go this time? Setting up, it looks like they do want to get Mazine to get some information down Long B, but the ping is going there from Energy. Last time they played this, it was the whole
Nice.
shift
Oh
round,
my
walk
God.
up, and find Mazine alone. That's how they started that round. They might look just like that again with a little bit of a lurk here from Finesse.
And this is one of those rounds that really hurt here for Furia. Breaking. The Trailblazer first
Okay, I apologize for that.
to confirm at least some sort of contact here at Long.
That's the
I'm
second
not
time we've
entirely
seen
sure why I
Finesse
went
with
to a
lineups here
black
on B.
screen.
Super big fan of lineups that aren't in the post plant. They're helping to take. He has a few that land on the spot on the box at B and in Cubby. As the B site happens, Mazine is ready.
Artist had to stay alive
Oh.
here. And that res, and it's Metzine to get two finally.
Wait, who am I
Finesse
rooting
back.
for? Wait a minute, hold on.
40 seconds left. Smoke coming out to delay here on the defensive side. And NRG are looking to push back towards A. Still got a player waiting right here in front of your screen, in front of your eyes.
30 seconds left.
It's QCK with the judge.
You will be judged. Let's see how this works out.
Hey, you have grenade. You use grenade on
NRG
it.
does have
Come on.
util for this if they want to try to clear it.
Come on.
They're looking for the
Come on,
walk
grenade,
play
grenade on
instead.
it, please.
This would be huge. Oh, they're not even guns out!
Spike down A.
13 seconds left. Victor will hear the TP at least for one player. But
They just didn't like how low they were on time, I
There's the
think.
Blaze Storm, pop draft, and the right click.
You actually, a great hit there as we keep this one going. 12-11 now as Furia get another retake on this. You actually see Brimstone smokes now sometimes on top of that box with New Bind, and that and just around to the L box. So you don't have a Raze or a Digizine jumping up to frag your planter like so. So many good spams today. And not smoke spams, the wall spams, the better kind.
Denoy, if you're on the receiving end though.
They were so sure that this was clear, but you got to expect somebody around the corner every time, especially with Furia and how they're always coming out of the woodwork. Timeout coming in here looks like from NRG. They have a lot of ults to come out and use into the next round. They've seen that we actually just saw from NRG. They tried to molly out Mazine there in the garden area,
come on.
right before the entrance into B. I think that's where we saw that the molly from Finesse was going. So playing off the previous round where they killed, like I said, a solo Mazine there. Little things that NRG's trying to do. We still didn't see the molly hit though. Kind of refined. Hit the roof. Crowd's ready for this point.
And that's where you need players like Metzine to play out in the open like that to land shots like he did with the Guardian to really turn around over in their favor. And
exactly.
Yes, and now it comes down to this final round of regulation. The money's back in favor for Furia's buy. And it will be potentially a judge or a rifle buy here for the last player for QCK, and it's going to be Small Shields with the Vandal. No operators from either end. But at least for NRG, they have ults to work with here. We mentioned that res on that previous round from Artis.
Yep.
Seekers to clear out sites. But for NRG off
Apparently
this
there was an
timeout,
earthquake, but
it looks to be another
I did not feel it at all.
play, a default.
It's crazy. 3 ults for
Doing
NRG.
The same damage shots out towards Long B. But what's changed here for Fury is this smoke coming down towards Long B to try to delay as much as we could, wasting that utility from NRG very early into the round.
Exactly. You kind of try to fake out if somebody's grabbing orb, maybe get a molly out to try and deter that. Just going to be Vandal shots this time. Big push. And they know, they just use a Trailblazer B long, so they know they can keep pushing this in mid.
With the tailwind,
Nice. Good trade, good trade.
And those Seekers actually might call out the second player. NW0 pushed out, who's forced now to satchel away to safety. Raz then comes out. The advantage comes in for NRG into this round, but Metzine also pushed forward to get the position out towards Long B.
Checking the flank quick as they still take the site slowly with this wall. It's hard for anybody in U-Haul to take this fight. And you never really want to stack everyone in U-Haul. So that 2v1 becomes NRG's once again.
Reckoning 2, Khalil now has to dance around. Along his teammates as well, and there's that TP towards that B site, but I've mentioned that push from Metzine. Now the off angle towards the garden. Satchel in, he plays clear Jid's game, and it's cleared by Song this time around.
Oh, yeah.
Nice shot.
What?
2 shots from Khalil. A 3v1.
Alright, just shut it down. Alright, just shut it down, alright?
Khalil is leaning, lurking into the site. Some looking for the ground control back towards elbow. And all they need
Silly.
to do now
Alright.
is play the pulse plan.
So smart.
Orbital strike into Hookah. The peek, he saw the second player being Finesse. But
nice.
Gets that lurk from behind for the final kill.
Doesn't even go to overtime, bro.
Comeback and wins the first map 13-11.
We saw a very similar game when NRG played 100 Thieves and the attack that they were able to bring in that game as well. Here we see a rinse and repeat as NRG find their footing on that attack side. and really working the map left and right. Those early rounds, you could see how much finesse was put into those rounds.
That's what I'm
and
talking
just
about.
how much they were able to get Furia off their game. Really nicely played. The amount of, I think it went to almost 7 plants, 7 post plants for NRG before
Nice.
Furia was able to stop it at that 8th round in the second half. That's too late. That's just too late to take the punishing.
Definitely. As we mentioned before, it was as punishing for the first half for NRG when it got ecoed by Furia, and you had to play the comeback game. This time around, Furia, they get punished for the gun round versus the bonus, actually, that NRG brought out. And that has been the catch-up game for the attack side. The attack half for both of these teams, but at least when the money was right for Furia, it was too little too late.
Some of these players coming out huge. Digizine having an immense game for the squad. Really able to take down any head-to-heads you would have put within this match, Silly. I know the desk will kind of bring that up and talk about Artist, Victor, and what was going on with the duelists here since it was, and Sentinel, since it was such a big factor. But yeah, this one delivered everything. We had awesome ults, we had awesome retakes, and the 4v5s that Furia were able to capitalize on. With that, one of the highest rankings in the league of that. You cannot count them out.
And with that, the second map coming up.
All right, here's what I should do. Let's do I'll see the pick'ems for this week for challengers. All right, so week 9, second to last week, week 4 of split 2. Let's see, G2 versus FaZe. I'm gonna give it to G2, even though they've looked so bad so far. I'm holding on to hope that maybe G2 can kind of pull through. I don't know. Holding on to hope. I mean, I'm not super. I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe, just barely. All right, we'll see. TSM versus Turtle Shrimp. I'll give it to TSM. I'll give it to Moist Moguls. I'll give it to Oxygen. Yeah, I'll give it to Oxygen. Although Shopify just beat M80. I'll give it to Shopify. The Guard versus Madlands. I'll give it to the Guard. I'll give it to M80. I hate to say it, but I think this guy's gonna have to be. I think they're gonna have to be playing in the relegation. They're gonna have to be scrambling, grasping for straws in relegation, try and qualify for next year. Unfortunately, hate to say it. And honestly, if Toast really wants to make it profitable, you make it to relegation, right? Or you make it through relegation, and then you sell the team. You sell the challenger spot. Boom. It's an easy like 20K. No, probably more than that. It's an easy like 500, 600K. Boom, profit. Although it might be a loss right now with how much they probably paid for NRG or EA.
Furia can find a member down to still work an opponent as strong as NRG to find the way into the site. Khalil, the number 1 on this, and a great finisher by both of them in the 2v. Aggressive from them in this game, being able to get into the site, test NRG on the defense. There's one of the reasons they didn't plan. A nuke going into hookah, able to take fast hit from Furia, but they still can't stop it. Again, the round goes long. Furia figures out the positioning. Digizine does Digizine things, and it just happens. Really nicely played by Sam. So they're predicting.
For NRG, it's Artist and Victor on a 2 versus 3. Victor going inside the Cloudburst for the kill of Digizine. Big kill to get as he gets traded off by Madzine. Artist on a 2v1. Makes it twice. Makes it 49 HP. Artist in the end.
9-3 curse is real. Alright. Let's do ranked duel, cause why not? Alright, here we go.
There's like 3.
I feel me.
Mid.
Like, what is this, like, watermark, bro?
Spike down mid. One enemy remaining.
There's like 3 mid.
Spike down mid. One
Dude, the
enemy
movement here is crazy.
Spike down mid.
He's playing really strong. I'll say Ascendant. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. The comms are a little bit off.
What are you doing, guys?
What are you doing?
Jeg vet ikke hvis det på et tidspunkt jeg ikke kan sykle med.
Det ble jo slutten av januar.
Slutten av januar, det tror jeg ikke jeg kan.
No comms. Yeah, they saw on B and there's still no comms.
Hey, kom hit!
Except to rotate.
Men det gleder jeg til I morgen, da.
Ja, X-Field-vurderingen. Ja.
Det kommer I morgen. Morgen min.
All B. Yeah, go away. Bro, jeg har den master alert, bro.
For bait.
De make a fight.
Og der I spawn også? Ok. Nå I deres spawn også.
Enemy remaining.
G-mean. Mine guy. Killjoy død.
Fly. Sånn går det nesten da. Han bare kommer løpende ned. All turns for elbow push. Elbow.
That gun buddy looked immortal. Like, they blurred it out, but that gun buddy looked immortal, alright? I mean...
Yo. He's just sitting there, bro. This team is just insane in the brain.
One more enemy.
Reyna's gonna be dropped.
Blind.
Not out.
NRG takes these advantages that FNS puts them in and actually converts the round.
I'm fighting.
So I'm gonna look at a post plan. Really briefly, I do want to.
One coming drop. Nice. Drop.
Oh my.
Yo. He's just sitting there, bro. This team is just insane in the brain.
Alright. Not my best trick. I'll take it.
One more enemy.
Reyna's gonna be dropped.
Alright, let's go back to the analysis and take a listen here.
Not much reaction for the site. You see them pause here. FNS is calling for a little bit of pause, see what their reaction is, and now they're gonna go in with the Skylt and the Harbor Ult combo. We're gonna see, as FNS is getting kind of picked here on the lurk, really good awareness by DJ Jean here, we're gonna see that Skylt and that Reckoning come out, and you're gonna notice there's no pings and the cabbages go into spawn. So before the bomb even goes down, before the spike is even planted, you're gonna see they're gonna go into elbow immediately because they know that space is free. And so you wanna recognize these opportunities in your games as well. So here they are. You see them sprinting, knife out. They know exactly how much space there is to control. And now Mazin, he's getting that counter control, right? He sees that Sky Flash, he sees the Sky Cabbage, and Som's gonna take this really great spot here up on the box. And look here, Furia is calling all their members into elbow. And NRG is here as well. It's looking like to be an all-out duel here between 4 different members of both teams. But instead what happens, and I love this from NRG, is that they have dynamic post plants. They are not static. They recognize that Furia is going to try and come over here and clear them out. So what they end up doing is they actually go back site, and they're going to be looking for the weak side of the retake. And it's just brilliant from them. So they're just going to hold here for a moment, see what they do. And again, this is part of the dynamicism of their post plant. There's no reaction. And so as Furia is slowly trickling out of elbow, they're going to call it 3, 2, 1, and they're actually going to pop flash right here. And they're all going to triple swing this angle together, being completely disruptive. Furia is thinking, oh, we have elbow, we're walking out. But NRG seems every step of the way expecting these plays. And it's just something that can't all just be on FNS. This is all of the core of NRG. Everyone is communicating here, and it's just beautiful to watch.
Wow, unreal stuff. And thank you so much, Mel, for that breakdown. And it just goes to show, right, the layers that we have for this team. And it also takes us to our Aim Lab shoot-around. We got Artis here, gives us time to continue to talk about what Mel discussed, as well as what we're going to be seeing coming up here, as well as Artis' individual performance. But yeah, Mimi, just the layers that this team has. Every player contributes to that system.
Yeah, it's really great. And we've talked a lot about the roles for this team. On Bind, it's generally going to be that Raze being locked in for Victor, like we saw. But now heading into Haven, this is where they've gone back to normalcy, and we'll get to see Artis back on the Jet role that he has been incredible at. And Mel, harkening back to your point about the calling, about how good it was from Finesse, how dynamic they are in those late rounds, in those post plants. Haven, if anything, I think is the map where they demonstrate that the best. They've been so good on it throughout the split.
I mean, it's an IGL's playground, and we're talking about Artis. We saw him on stage, which he's a great stage, and he's shown that before, but now we're seeing him on Jet in combination with the fact that Haven is just a great map to call on. There's so many gaps that you can use, create, and exploit. It's going to be really tough for Furia going into this.
I doubt that we'll see any changes from NRG, but my question is, which comp does Furia go for? We've seen them play the more normal double initiator with the Sky into a Jet. We've also seen the Harbor Viper, and they're actually returning to the composition. Last time they played this one was versus Fnatic. They took them to triple OT, almost beat them. We're an inch away from winning that map. It's a really cool comp that they actually used even before Loud did.
Yeah, that was the game that made me a Furia fanboy. And now I'm really excited to see this, kind of get brought back into this. Mel, do you feel like we'll be going to game 3?
It's possible. It's entirely possible. And I think if Furia can get this edge here, they can have that hot start, but close, that's where it's going to be important.
All right, well, let's go ahead and kick off map 2. We're going to send it back over to Vansili and Rivington for the cast.
Thank you, Golden Boy. Yes, we are moving into Haven now. We're going back to our roots as well for Furia. The double controller play that brought Fnatic to triple overtime that Mimi has been talking about. But even when they went to a different comp, the last time that they played it and they won here at the VCT Americas
I do like
against
Haven.
EG 13-7, they just went for the regular, putting Madzine on a different role, and it worked out. But this double controller here might be the saving grace to bring this to a third map against NRG.
I do actually love the way that Harbor plays on Haven, the kind of the way that Cascade can cover a long push. It's almost perfect size, and then a few other of the lanes or avenues that you would be taking a site. You get such good space to clear forward, and that's what you can do with these long extremities, is use that Cascade to take all the space you want. But not having the breach is always a question. Here's one right towards window. All towards 8 to start off here.
All right, starting on offense, offense-sided map.
But they're facing Killjoy kill utility, all stacked on itself for this dash in, ready for it.
No armor play, so you get full utility. There it is. And Khalil capitalizes on the first blood into the round. The dash canceled out by Artis. And with the high tide coming out, NRG is starting to fall back.
Look at the push already from Digizine.
Yeah, all that information out towards grass. He's waiting there, trying to see if there's going to hear some footsteps. For NRG, it doesn't matter. They could take their time. There's still a turret watching that flank.
Right.
So they have an opportunity to cut noise. And while they're cutting noise, though, Furia will understand as well that NRG are not going to really be falling back because of that position from Digizine. Oh, the fake clear, but at least a recon dart does get the ping onto the defenders into the A site. But somehow we answer back for Furia. It's up to Crashies on a 2 versus 1.
Nice.
Gets the second onto the board, back into a 1v1.
20 HP.
No information where Digizine is at. So he goes for the plant. Digizine activated the tailwind, and there's the shot. Oh, Crashy's almost made it out safely, but it's still the piss around for Furia.
Yeah, I thought the Furia Frenzies were going to come out on top as well, and then Crashy's comes around with some really big kills, cleaned up by Digizin, so that's going to feel good. He's 2 towards Blade Storm already, and they weather a storm of a pretty strong energy A hit there. Didn't have too much of the short control to start. They wanted to gain everything about the alt orb. And that Molly setup coming in from Khalil really put a damper on things when Energy actually tried to execute on the site. Following this second round now. Still towards A. Looks like we get a turret rather towards mid. So we'll be seeing Victor kind of stay back on this strategy to start.
And with the plant that we got for Energy, a 1 versus 1, no force buy coming out for the attack. Playing the patient game, and yep, those high tines,
yep,
those cascades. It'll be very difficult to get some early value here.
My double's dead.
Energy looking to gain map control somewhere else after the loss of Artis, and being greeted by good positioning from Furia so
Right,
far across all of their default spots.
Just get one at least.
You walk into something, it's always something waiting for you here for Energy.
There's so many options with the utility that they use, right? You have the high tide coming out on one side. You can get the push there from Mazine.
All right, it's okay. Gun diff. That's why we lost.
Wall behind it. There's layer on layer of defensive strategy that they're working
we still got this. We still got this. Come on.
Starting to see, so we'll see how much they can.
Not even worried.
Cooperate to get around it. The start towards A seems to be everything for Energy. I think that's because Furia does love the push. They're going to be short. They're going to be long. They're going to be playing for that orb. So Energy at least wants to be able to feel that out and not give up this space for free. We've seen 3 rounds start with the majority of the members here today. Right down Digizine with the Marshall. But it won't be as much of a fight for short here as it is for long. They're defaulted here with as much as they're pushing still, and space being taken.
And there's no dash away. It's the all drone. Is it going to clear?
Hello.
Makes it away at least back towards sewers as a Trailblazer comes out towards long. Stopped by Artis. So a bit of information, a bit more information for Furia as they backpedal into an A site. Lean. But the call right now for Energy is trying to move back towards mid.
Yeah, a little info grab there from Victor. Seeing if he can get maybe a footstep or someone to push out due to that Molly displacing them. So you can see even across the map, if you don't have Initiator util, they're still trying to figure it out, and that is a blind Mazine right now. Oh, he actually gets a little bit of safety here as it's a feint for B. I think they're still going to want it, though, on a re-hit.
And a high tide gave an opportunity for a crossfire setup for the defenders. For Furia, flash to try to peek out. And Bizin W0 finally connects onto Artis. Spectre kill. As once again, another attempt from Artis to clear the site.
30 seconds
Unfortunately, no space gain. Another one in the column of first deaths. For the rest of Energy, though, with 20 seconds left, moving now into the C site. Crashes opens it up at least for one. But there's still one hiding inside of this pit. And finally, should I say the poison orb is stopped here by Som. 10 seconds left on the clock, having to come in for a plant. Finally comes down. But it's planet safe. Crashy's off the Nebula coming through. Somehow Digizine with the Spectre gets the pick off. Som answers back after shot to try to clear out the defender's push. As now Som spots both of them.
Come on, Som.
We'll get the support from Finesse as they're trying to go for the jiggle in the crossfire setup. And now with the swing, they're able to hold it finally for Energy to get the round.
That's too many players lost.
That was a big one. That was a 4v5 conversion there for Energy with Artis going down first for a 3rd time in a row.
Yep.
Not
losing 3
able
there is so
to stop
bad.
them that much though. Energy still finds the win to get into sight and put Furia onto this now buy round with the operator. Again for Digizine, it comes out so quick and just starts to change the flow of the game here. Furia grabbing pistol, gives them a few rounds to start. That pistol is the first of their series. So if they can keep it going on this 4th round after the bonus, they're going to feel very good about the start of this Haven map against Energy, which, like we've been saying, it's their playground. This attack half is going to be pretty treacherous as we get into it. Furia has to be on their game.
Yep. Because if Finesse, rather, could do some impeccable calls on this map of Haven. And early in this round, we have the operator out for Digizine. Energy committing into a plant for B-side, and that's the 4th first death here for Artis. Unlucky there, they got picked through a smoke as Digizine goes for the push and a flank from behind.
Position given away here as Som finally gets the pick.
Aftershock, getting half.
A little bit of a delay, still have a star up there. So Som has an opportunity to lay a little bit more. Sixth sense there for Khalil. Identifying the push from Finesse coming through.
Body blockers.
Yeah, this is going to be the defuse in for Furia. And those
What?
cascades are going to be very annoying to play against here on those retakes. Or at least against the when you have the pulse plant rather on the attack on the B site.
Exactly. A lot of times that smoke can just kind of be clear jump or people are still in mid.
It's okay, it's okay. It's Energy's a defense-sided team. All right, so like
you don't have the
they don't need a whole lot of offensive rounds here, right? I mean,
Furia able to stop Energy there very nicely.
was they just that was a gun dip? They just had worse guns there. It is what it is. You know, you can't win them all. You know.
Now towards C, Energy's first switch of the map. Looks like we're going to run a few through garage here and make sure mid control is not given up. So they might move faster because they have, like I said, they've been on that A main, keeping control.
Nice.
Well, that was a nice ping coming out too. So Artist finally
nice.
Redemption on the first few rounds as QCK still holding towards the back of the site, fully blinded, hiding inside the poison orb, gets a second kill into the round. Support comes in as he gets picked up by Crashes with the shock darts, but that's still MW0 in the back there.
Nice.
Back and forth, we move out, pendulum swings as it's up to Maxine under 3 versus 1. In favor of Energy. And
get eco'd, bro. Get eco'd.
Only a 1 versus 1 is needed for Energy to win that round. Off a
There you go, Furia. What are you gonna do?
Push straight through.
And there's 4 ults
really
this round.
To
oh my.
At first, great control of garage.
This
really
is it. Come on.
Only one avenue to retake the site because there was no time for a flank to come through at the pace of this round. Nice play by QCK there. This is an orb that he died in last time because he was fault blind off his position. But he's kind of trying to adjust to what Energy's doing on the site. We'll see if Energy starts to change that too, having used that same take now.
Oh, it's an eco from Furia.
On the right side by Victor. And more of a push from Furia on that A site.
They clear the corner with the updrop, but still the right click comes in for Khalil. Finally, Artist moves forward with that judge. And now finally we stopped the bleed and there was an opportunity there. Double swing coming out from A main.
It is what it is.
We get
It
the
is
plan
what
down.
it is.
Maybe we're
Energy
not,
still has numbers.
here,
We got this.
Now 2 weapons are coming out from the rotate. Artist
nice.
into the B side spot. The last one wants to continue with the judge. Gets the dink. MW0 is down to 60 HP. Not really in a position to play a Hunter's Fury on a pulse plan, so you have to be on your toes for both of these players of Energy.
What a cool setup.
Wow.
What a
Okay.
cool setup. Crashies
Nice.
obviously make Sam aware if anybody comes through garage, and Crashies just gets a quick shock dart.
Yep.
And knocks it out of the park. Big play by Victor there, even though going down delayed 3 members of Furia over at A. His Energy kind of runs through here with the rest of their members to be able to take this C site, which they've now focused quite a few rounds in a row, and now we'll put Furia on a timeout.
All right,
Nice
now
work,
we've
good
got so many
communication
ults.
from the
We're gonna
last few
use
players
them
on that
too
previous round.
because
Hearing those footsteps coming out from the
we
rotate.
know it's a
allowed
buy
the
from Furia. Oh, this is gonna be so
prediction
good.
of
This is
the
gonna be
shock
so
darts to
good,
get
dude.
killed. But this is an early pause now coming out from Furia. On the first map when we played, it was really Energy that was trying to find their footing ever since they got ecoed on that second round. And this time around when Energy had their money right from the get-go, from the beginning on their first buy round, it's been Energy's story.
Yeah, still getting a plant on that round 4, but it was diffused. So you can see that Energy being able to make it into the site, penetrate through that Furia defense. And their setups have been a bit stronger now with the speed they're hitting the site, not allowing Furia to get into a setup that could flood or even retake with that much effectiveness. The chats are over, back to the game, and we are going to be in after this. Little bit of buy time. The operator's now out for Digizine, so we'll see how he continues to reposition and repeak.
Let's keep this momentum. Let's keep this ball rolling. Come on.
2 stars going out towards A to give Furia something to think about, something to play around, and maybe even Artist something to get a kill off of here, as it looks like they want to get out into A. Big lurk by Sam for this round.
On the other end,
Come on.
Cascade on the defender side to block the window. Flash out to get the early info. And with the early info, it's a high tide to try to slow down the pace.
Block the information, but it's the execution instead of energy.
So
Rolling
quick.
Thunder into the site, the dash. Now we observe that the site's clear. But the reckoning comes in here for the
How's the
retake.
lockdown game work? Lockdown number 2, when? Where? They're just buying time right now. It's not been planted, so the lockdown is kind of fizzling out here. They obviously won't see any members of Furia coming back in, but they are going to receive a lockdown of their own here from Khalil.
Meanwhile, though, Som has been picked off when he was trying to go for that lurk on long C. So the
Hunter's
advantage
Fury.
comes in. Hunter's here to stop the lockdown. That was placed down by Furia. But with that, though, we're still storming in, flooding into the site. 2 kills comes out for MW0. A key player for Furia's success on Haven. So now we have to play through the high tides, through the sprays. It's planted for them. They're trying to get the reloads in the kills.
Nice.
Victor gets them
More
both.
spams?
And make that even a third. And
Nice.
once again,
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
deadly duo of Victor and Crashies.
What are you gonna do, Furia? What are you gonna do?
Always feeling comfortable playing around each other. From team to team, it's never changed, like riding a bike for them too. A tandem one,
What I'm
obviously.
talking about, bro.
It's good to see them still working together so well. Crashies having some rounds for himself here, and Victor adding on to it. 4-3 now for energy as they start
These
to
North
string
American
those rounds
teams, man,
together.
you gotta be worried
A lot of
about it.
ults used on that
Gotta
round,
get
though.
scared.
Making sure they can secure
Can't
it.
underestimate us.
Giving Furia all the respect they deserve here on these retakes. Again, too, bit of a default. Is this an alt orb for long grab? Looks like they'll at least try to push QCK off, doing a bit of damage on both sides to start off.
Oh my gosh.
Digizine's pushes never fail.
Woo! The hat trick now. What? He's not going to cheer yet because they're still alive in the game here, but those were some clean shots.
He gets 2 more. You get Pincata's Sheriff Ace on watch. Oh my word. Push through mid here. Finesse now trying to work the map, hoping that that kind of disruption of favor got Furia out of position, but there's
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. We're okay, we're okay. Hey, you know what? You know what? You know what? We already ecoed them, they can eco us. It's okay, we're okay with that. We're okay. We've got rounds, alright? What? It's tied? Who cares, alright? It's only a little bit offense-sided. This is fine.
Up in the beginning.
My
You
God.
do a lot of damage with this one as well, especially at that distance. Second ego of the series now for Furia to bring that momentum back.
Yes.
This
As
is
they play the
fine, this is
defensive
fine.
That's huge. That's huge. We kind of see it not similar to the 4v5 stat, but when they're down, they're taking more time. They're trying to get ahead of their opponent and figuring out what the best course of action will be. There, Digizine, 3 headshots. Can't go wrong.
That's what they talked about during the timeout.
That's what they Digizine go. I mean, it's not wrong. That is the strat here for Furia 90% of the time.
It always seems to be a high tide in a reaction to hearing the Alladrone coming out from Crashies. Just to not allow to get the dash coming in from Artis behind the Alladrone. As this is another duo that works in tandem to try to gain that early space.
Oh my god.
That is nice there from Artis.
Almost a pair of haircuts.
But with that though, yeah, exactly, for energy, we're not reacting on this yet. And finally, as we're trying to see where the util is coming from, to push now inside the C site. Seekers now to hold some players back. But this is all Artis selling a fake for Victor to open up the A site. That's the pit down and an opportunity for energy.
I told you.
Work into an open site.
Told you, it doesn't matter that they took an eco win.
Is that a range? Or is that smoked out right now? They just walked past the alarm bot here as they got themselves into B. Just able to hold off any rotation that Fury
Oh, you're
is
gonna
have.
save.
Yeah, they're
Come on,
trying to
Artis.
get to a save position at this point.
Don't let them save.
Norris is trying not to allow anybody to save.
Okay.
And as he looked down to call onto the gun
It's
the
okay.
second time, NW0 catches him off guard. No matter what, though, it will be a plant coming in. for
Nice.
energy, and at least Finesse is chasing
You want
him
that
down.
off? You want it?
Understanding
Can
that
get
they
it.
have the
Can
money
get
to
it.
work
Can
with
get
for
that
a
off.
bit.
I love this. They're pinging the op. They're like, do not let anyone grab this. They're just covering Digizine's rifle there. And the Ruzera has it. The hunt begins. Found it.
Oh,
on the run out.
Just ran out like a Euro clone.
Again.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. They're just running straight out. They won't expect this. and they drop the
Can't have the
operator.
wait, you want the
Energy just making this so much harder for Furia to come back, and Furia only doing it on the eco rounds.
Yeah.
it's not going to work every time. Artis does keep that operator, though. Usually we've seen Energy just going with rifles here throughout this Haven match, but operators grabbed, lockdown, one off, and we may see an alt orb worked here. Artis is going to just go mid. I think this is work off Artis's pick for now, and then Energy fans out. Mid pressure from long A pressure from Furia, and a contact on the guiding light.
And yet, despite them getting 2 rounds on the eco, thankfully for Furia, they've won that pistol and converted from that pistol to keep this game close. And another Laura buy coming in for Furia into this round. 2 hero rifles and pistols. As Artis couldn't get any value off the operator. Gets picked off early. So he's looking on the top of the B site. Didn't expect a swing from Matzine into the front.
Right, he was definitely looking up, thinking Digizine would be playing a little funky on a Blade Storm. There's still
Blade
A.
Storm. 2 players now inside the C site for the defenders. Alarm bot. Nanostorm's already been popped off. Ooh. There's that first kill and the spray through the smoke. Matzine, 3 into the round.
It's okay, we only need 2.
Or the pistols and the Blade Storm at least from Digizine.
We only need 2. Get the plant, go, girl.
That's going to run the clock down for a bit, but the spike has not been planted yet. So still a great opportunity for Furia, rather, to flood back into the site.
Wait, only...
In the Bazira, yet to have a flash. And the Blade Storm comes in for the kill. Up to Finesse.
Oh, just at safety.
The flood in. The first kill. Rolling Thunder available.
Oh, they tried
looking for the
click.
safetiness.
He has that Rolling Thunder.
Of the garage here after that kill indeed. So he's just going to wait, potentially pop it off the tap. But off the tap decides to swing out first, and Digizine gets the kill.
It's okay, it's just 1 round. I mean... Bro, we've got so many rounds here, it doesn't matter. What is tied? Okay, we'll keep it tied.
How does Furia keep doing this? I was joking when I said they're only doing it on the low buy rounds, but they are making a statement with it right now. Energy has to find a way to lock this out, and Chet's gonna go ahead and give a word on that to the team right now.
Yeah, because those last 2 ecos that were won there by Furia came down to those 2 players that we just saw in the replay.
Right.
Digizine with the 3 sheriff kills, Matzine picking up the last 2 kills, and then that previous round was just Matzine getting a 3K off that hero rifle, and then Digizine coming in for the last 2. So how do we stop these 2? Matzine had a pop-off game last time against EG, plus 17, playing as a Sky on top of that, so now we switched that around. Oh, sorry, it was MW0.
Well, I think what Energy could do a little bit more in that C site take when they're taking it is they've seen QCK back there quite a bit, and it's been contact. After the site take, they contact through that orb in play. There, it was Matzine in the back site, and they still were contacting to that back play. So just a second layer, flash, detection, some kind of info before they move into the rest of that C site to stave off these multi-kills that Furia's able to get when you looks like
Energy's gonna take a 2-0 here. It's fine.
The anchor players are doing a very good job here for Furia on the defense. We mentioned there was an opportunity there when Finesse got that kill. Had the Rolling Thunder available in a 2v1. Could have potentially used it on the tap of the spike, but was trying to catch his opponents off guard, thinking that it was actually going to be Digizine that was going to push further up. But now we're all tied up. That Rolling Thunder is still available, as there's no lean towards the A site this time around for Energy. More pressure into a C side split to start. It's gonna be very quiet here.
Right here. Yeah, like you said, heavy seaside. Just making sure that you can have Victor stay in range of this alarm bot, and they're happy to keep themselves out. I think the guiding light tells them no one's long, but that alarm bot just got pinged, so they're not going to try to push all the way through just yet. Hearing some noise now towards garage, just pull out the cascade, so they find out where Matzine is for now. They may have actually heard a little bit of alarm bot as they just did that trailblazer towards long A.
Exactly. Energy, maybe they've heard it pivoting towards that area, but it's Digizine waiting, ADSing with that Vandal. No operator this time. As this may be now Energy leaning towards this Rolling Thunder that's available for Finesse.
So neat with the high tides. It's like that distance of fault line that you can still support the other side of the map here, but you're having to harbor, not the breach. And there's another Rolling Thunder from NRG.
And with that high tide, though, look at the high tide from where Jazine's going behind. He's playing an off angle into Sewers and finally gets spotted, has to fall back and help his teammates. The plant comes down, Finesse saves the planter. And that's Artis with a judge with a kill. Oh my god, what a kill by Jazine! The flick across, the advantage back for Furia. It's up to Victor and Sam. Both on the open, almost got the flick up to the fifth. But it becomes a 1 versus 1. Victor's still out in the open, could reposition.
Oh.
QCK hits him with the wide swing.
That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh my gosh, gets the aim down.
We just need one. It's okay.
Kill. Furia now taking the lead 6-5. And that was
it's okay, we'll tie it up. We'll tie it up.
Into the site so fast. Look at MW0 fell out of the sky
we
for
don't,
a second there. I was like, where'd this guy come from?
We
and then Digicine with the
we don't need, it's fine, okay?
He's been in aim labs. He has been in, oh my god. He has been just a ball of energy today. On fire for the rest of the team. Driving that confidence and gassing everybody else.
So we talked about some checking PC, but this time for Digicine, what is it? Verifique OPC? Yele?
Did you just try that?
I tried Google Translate.
My
chat.
gosh.
Let me know if I got that.
I like the try. It's what counts. It's what counts. Let's see if NRG can try to get this last round. No big ultimates to you. Actually, no, they do have Cosmic Divide. Sorry. So they can block off the site and give themselves a little priority once they get the spike down here. Very focused for B. Still in. Up top. Artist on the bookcase goes down as they read that play.
Nice.
This time the PC was checked. Victor fixes it up, makes it a 3 versus 3, looking for a lineup to clear up the A site. Gonna head towards the spawn, just to try to delay a bit. But energy off this Cosmic Divide and that utility that's been used are pivoting back towards the B or C site.
Back towards the scene of the crime. They're gonna head in, and rightfully so, expecting that nobody's just going to put themselves on B alone. That's the smart play to play retake here, but just watch for info, and Sam takes that info right back.
Dodging away, putting us.
Bro, he just left Crashies.
MW0 is trying to get that spray onto Crashies
okay.
after the plant.
Bro, he was like, alright, Crashies, you got it.
Thanks to the nanostorm being thrown
he's like,
outside from Victor from the B site.
My bad.
Field rotates across. There's the execution back. 2 players alive for Furia to try to
I think Crashies just clear from the angle though.
Saw falls, and a second one.
No.
It's up to Victor in the
More
front.
Victor.
1v1. Only with the bulldog.
Yes! Let's go! Keep it tied.
Victor stepping forward for the aggression.
It's okay. Offense-sided map, it doesn't even matter. All right. You know what? We're gonna prove it's like NRG's gonna prove it's not even that offense-sided, bro. They're gonna win on their defense. It's gonna be crazy. Just you wait. All right. Just you wait. Right, bro.
6-6 right here. But before we continue the second half, let's toss it over to Dan Dryad and KD1.
Triad.
And that's right, I'm over here with Katie, streamer right now, co-streaming the match of NRG and Furia. And Katie, it's not the first time they were here at the arena. It's been a couple times, I believe, from what we got to see.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about the arena?
I think the audience is really cool when they're like rooting for the team I'm rooting for only. But I also like the streamer desk. It's nice. They give me like candy and snacks.
Bro is scary.
And I was like, I want popcorn. They brought me popcorn, so I was like, oh.
Just a little bit of everything. That's nice. Also, for this match, is it going the way that you're expected? We saw a massive comeback for NRG on map 1, and now it's a little bit more even.
Well, for the first one, I was getting nervous, but then I was like, we can beat 9-3, because 9-3 curse, you know? And NRG super slay, so it's fine. And then second game, we're just giving them rounds. They're getting lucky.
They're getting lucky. It's all good. And we see, you said that, you know, you were getting nervous for the first one. I want to ask you, because you also on stream, you play Valorant. What is most stressful, watching a close match or playing a close match?
Watching. Because like you can see everything that's going on, and then like you can see like timings that happen. You're like, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but when you play, like you can't really tell. At least I can't.
Okay, and then I also want to ask you. You said we're giving them a couple of rounds for this one, but in Furia, what do you think? So you think the prediction is going to be 2-0? How do you think it's going to go?
Yes, it has to be 2-0.
It has to be 2.
Yeah, it has to be.
There's no other option.
No.
There's no other option.
No. My heart can't handle it.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. I want to ask you last thing here. So tell everybody your Twitch so you can go and watch it.
Oh, it's just KD1. That's
KD1.
it. Yeah.
All right, make sure you go watch her and watch a coach stream as well. A little bit stressful, but I think it's all gonna go good for
Yeah,
you.
it'll be fine. We'll be
As we
fine.
go into the back take casters.
Thank you so much, Dan Dryad. And indeed, yes, looks like Riot was able to give Katie everything that she wanted, but we'll see if Energy could give the victory that she wants now.
All right, they will. 2-0. Here we go.
2-0, but if it goes to a third
Listen.
map, I don't know. Can Furia
Listen.
turn it around? But so far, they've been turning around.
Energy
these
is such
eco
a
rounds
powerful team, and like
tie this map up 6-6.
Furia,
But
what
now it's Energy's turn on the defense.
what even is a Furia? You know?
Not
What does
their
that even
second
mean?
chance now
So
to get
this
rounds
defense gonna
on
pull through.
attack.
Ooh, good
We'll see
read.
if they've
Placing
got
3 on
enough
C. Guess what? That's where
for
they're going. We're
Energy.
gonna
6, is
punish
that
them.
What's going to work? Already into the site.
Let's go, Victor.
There's a
Oh,
the
yeah.
second one here with a nice recon dart.
What are you
Ness
gonna
gets
do? You
the
gotta
kill onto
run.
The second one, and Furia decides right away to fall back.
Yeah, the util gap that created Furia's team being 1 at Long C and or a few at Long C and 2 in sight did not work out for them. Energy just really able to put the hold on that immediately. And now Khalil goes for the lurk. Try
Just
to
got
keep
spotted.
quiet.
Some saw him and just.
I know he's there though.
Look at that.
Oh
just a high
man.
low. Off the fly.
Wait, but they think it's
That's a
B or
third player
C
to fall
still.
now for Furia. At least they'll get the plant
It's
down.
okay.
QCK is making so much noise.
You get the
This is hurt
plant
by
down,
Otis
but
for
like
sure.
2v5, what are you
So it's
gonna
be
do?
a double swing back towards the spot.
You feel me?
And it's a 1-for-1.
Great
Second
push.
one now spotted, and like I mentioned,
Nice.
flank from behind. The fault line for the assist.
Yeah.
And Artist for the defuse.
Furia really wanted C on that play. That was the initial play. I don't think they wanted to have a second strategy this round, Vansili, because it did not.
It's a good
look
start. That's
like
how you
they
start
had
it.
the Positioning for it. Like Khalil got his, but Finesse already with the mind that they're going to be flanked was in place. Energy grabbed round 1. Can they keep it together though? Now's the question. This is where Furia likes to fire back. MW Zera actually with the Sheriff this time. Okay, Digizine did buy one.
Yep.
That would be a little different if both of them
The
didn't.
Victor saving
They'd love to try to get
Econ.
those
It's
hero
because
shots
they
in,
play
and we saw
smart.
Digizine get the beautiful 3K earlier
They're
with the Sheriff.
prepared in case they
So
lose. Look
all
at
the
Energy,
possibilities
bro.
are there.
These two are definitely a menace.
Never
on
mind.
those.
Victor
It's
not
crazy.
saving
It's
Econ.
crazy.
Victor
It's okay, because
going
he
into
realized
a
he doesn't
frenzy
need
this
to.
round. Hesitating on the weapon that he wanted, but decides to play the close range battle instead. Artist trying to prevent the orb from being picked up, but it will still come up.
Really cool high tide there to stop that Marshall attack. They expect Artis on top of the box. Finding him and being able to source that information and move away from what could be the one-shot Marshall they want to prevent.
Do not overheat
Victor was
Victor,
looking for
bro.
the turret swing.
Okay, alright, I thought I got a little scared
QCK's
there,
identified
alright? I
that
thought
too.
maybe he'd push out a little
There's
too
the
far.
Elge on the spot, one of those Sheriffs. And spot a key player being Digizine. But look at this push up here from Som. That frenzy, here's the footsteps. Now the turret spots him. Allowing
Nice.
Victor to play behind the toxic screen. 1v1 against QCK. Decides to fall back instead. Meanwhile, though, Som does get the frag out onto QCK to support. And this is going to be very difficult for Fury to try to move in for a plant.
Exactly. Energy anchoring looks so good right now on this round. They know they don't have to move. It's on Furia to get to the spike site. And do that. There's one of the Sheriffs that we were talking about. They bought up. And it's too much more damage.
Sheriffs here. They were
Okay.
purchased before.
Just don't die, Victor.
Okay.
Yes, let's go. And you
Okay.
keep, that's a buy. You keep your players alive. Let's go.
For those two, there's enough
That's what I'm
bullets enough for
talking
two
about,
teams.
bro.
You got to be careful. 8-6 now as Energy does.
Energy is
stave off
different.
that eco loss. Will they be able to grab the bonus though? Still having to buy through for a few more weapons with that light armor. So where is Finesse, Victor, and the rest playing for this round? We'll see that play once again. I feel like that wall hurt him for a moment. Victor was like, "Thank you. I'll take some free space." He starts stinging. So they will split up where the Spectres and Stingers are right now to try and create that power across the defensive
Go,
line
Artists.
for Energy.
Keep them on their
Push up
toes.
here.
Just find one, that's
Why
it.
not?
Nice!
He wants that.
It's time for Artist to punish Digizine's on their
He got
first
it.
blood
Wait, did he
attempts.
get it?
Got
He
him in.
does.
Picks up the rifle, falls back. That's going to make it difficult now, where Furia will not have the Space Maker to move into the site. Thankfully, though, both controllers are still up, so you can still section out the map on the hit. And NRG's pivoted back here to hold back the B push. A couple of sprays across, and it comes in favor of the attackers as Finesse falls. Counter coming through with this Stinger.
I've got your trail.
We're unfortunately not getting too much out of the bonus round of NRG. The plant comes in for Furia.
Obscuring vision.
It's up to their 2 Stingers, being delayed, being stomped by all of this utility from Furia on the pulse plant. Here's the Sheriff.
Oh my.
Says, I could do it too, boys.
This is getting sketchy, Vance.
The recall. There's that 1v1. Up to Sam. Low HP.
Where you looking?
Turns his back around, but
Bro, where you looking, bro?
Swings out for the kill.
I know you don't want to get
And that
flashed.
becomes very difficult because once MW0 can see the spike and see that it's red, red means dead. Shoot your opponent. If it's still blue, Sam's trying to fake. So towards that, it kind of leaned in MW's favor, but you still got to love the play. You love to try. Sam almost coming up with another clutch there.
Hey, you know what though? That was the buy
bonus we
from
expected to be
Furia.
going to
We took
Furia,
out all but one of their
but
players.
Really nice job
so.
by Artis to get the first kill. Furia converting another 4v5.
Well,
even
somehow
if it
they're
was
still able to
NRG's
buy.
low buy. Operator on the field for Artis.
Sorry, we still got this.
Up top on B. Is that his high tide? At least he can see over it. For him, not his high tide. But yeah, they're trying to just block it off right away.
Come on, Artis.
Almost got that hit.
Yep.
Digizine, though, meanwhile, has worked towards Garage with support here from MW0. Trying to find this utility left behind by Victor at the beginning of this round. Pivoting back here towards the A site. Owl drone. Not going to spot anything yet. Flash was looking to be timed to go behind the Cascade here into A-Long, but it missed because it hit an obstacle, so they're not going to get too much information here for Furia. So pivoting back towards the C site.
This push.
Yeah, from Artis. But it was pinged before.
Nice.
But Khalil looks into the wrong corner. Now to dash in just to try to close the gap, but the shorty doesn't get the kill. Digizine opens it up. C site now on a 4 versus 4. Some looking to punish somebody recrossing. And it's Digizine now with the operator on the attack. The updraft to escape at least with some damage done from Som. Big fault line coming up. Gravity well too.
My
And that's a kill coming out from Victor. Gravity well. And now the Cosmic Divide for the attempt of the retake. But it comes Crashies on a
Nice.
2 versus 1. Letting it go for a delay with a snake bite. Still a second one available. And this might be it here for QCK to be able to
He's
get
good
it.
on that one.
There's
He's good on that
tap.
one.
Trying to get it into the halfway mark. QCK running up.
He's gonna
The
drop.
wall's about to drop. And with the wall drop,
Dude,
QCK
why aren't you ready for
saves
that?
around there for Furia.
Ooh.
You knew it was gonna
That's
come.
definitely a
Bro,
difficult molly to hit.
it's okay, it's
not
okay,
knowing
it's okay,
the
it's
true
okay.
distance. There's lineups,
okay.
and then there's
It's
an in
okay.
the moment.
It's okay.
And that one fell short, but the wall fell
We don't
too,
even,
and
you know
the
what? We don't
win
even need
goes to
these rounds,
Furia. Very
all right?
nice
Because at the end of the
retake
day,
here
we're
coming
gonna
into the C
pull
site.
through. I
They'll
know,
find themselves another
bro.
round to
NRG is
tie us
that
back up
team.
here. 2-2 on this
We
second
take an
half for
eco
both
here,
teams.
but it's okay. We're
playing
okay
this
with
one
that,
so
all
close.
right? We're okay
A
with
low buy
taking an
here for
eco.
NRG.
Here.
They do have a few ultimates if the round warrants it, and they find Furia members on the ground. This Cascade down long fits perfectly if they want to get by it, and you can kind of see them getting that flash into the right position this time.
It's still crazy. We'll hold that thought for a bit.
Hello.
The dash from Artis greeting Crashies as they do have this lower buy in this round, and the Bladestorm unfortunately couldn't get a kill, but forces out the regrowth to come out from MW0 to start. I was just wanting to mention how crazy that was that Digizine was stunned by a fault line. It could still flick across being stunned to break a dart. That's pretty insane. Got some muscle in there.
That's the arm movement. You go up to the shoulder on that one. Just swinging all around the table. Now towards mid, a little crossfire with Victor's turret he's got set up there on the site. We might be catching the guiding light here in just a second as the team pushes through.
This is big.
Oh, what a play.
The first kill. And unfortunately couldn't escape
It's okay. We keep it even and we keep them off the side. That's what matters.
For a bit.
Yeah.
There was a 4-player stack on Energy at the A site. We're trying to funnel it back from Victor's kill on B. But this is a smarter move now for Furia to move across with the Reckoning into the open C site, rather.
Yeah, I love that. Section off anybody in sight. And slow
Nice.
everybody that's going to be coming in now.
Thrifty in the
Nice.
space now for Energy. Crashes with a second one, upgrading into a Phantom. Artist also has a Vandal that he picked up. Now he fights back with finesse. The frenzy kill onto Khalil.
It's 1v3. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You have no snake bite.
The updraft from Artist, and with the triple swing across.
Oh my God.
Go, ecoed, bro. Eco. I told you, it's okay. It's okay that we lose those because we are going to take the lead anyway, bro. It's not even gonna go to overtime. It's gonna be a 2-0. Both of these maps, no overtime. We're getting energy to playoffs, okay? We're getting energy to Tokyo as well, alright? Tokyo and Cloud9 in the play at Tokyo, alright?
They've been on
Both
point.
of them.
Yeah. Just gotta say that everybody's been firing off here as Energy's come up big on this one. Round 18, 9-8. Another round back in the favor of Energy as Furia will call the timeout. Post plants getting a little scattered.
Alright. Alright, they call a timeout. We still have one to use as well.
A very tough one indeed, and we need to regain our composure. Had the opportunity before to speak to Frost a couple of weeks back here for the VCTs in Americas, and they always identified that they are a true contender here, Furia, into the VCT Americas, but always falling short, maybe overheating sometimes on some of these skills. But that's changed a bit into this week over here. It's been a lot of, yes, these aggressive pushes that's coming out on their eco rounds and getting good picks, but there's still a great protocol behind it and not continue to push forward off of that to really regain into these victories that came into their favor on the defensive half. But now you want to bring those protocols back here for Furia to understand
Right, the
how you
music
want to
is
play
weird.
these post plants now that you have the attack side.
Remember, we said Furia
Weird
likes
music.
to call those
Alright.
timeouts when the ults are ready here. One of those
Let's go.
is for Digizine on the Blade Storm.
They're on an eco. We have a buy. We've got 2 ults. Don't even have to use them though because they're on an eco, right?
Ecos have been trouble for both teams.
That being said,
See if Furia can pick up one of their.
no, I won't even say that Fury has a
players
chance here
here on
because
this one.
we're gonna
Gonna
take
wait till
it.
he goes all the way
Energy's
back
gonna
to
take
A
it.
here.
Let's go.
For Energy, and they're gonna start pushing forward.
And
Very
even off the
fanatical.
pace, they're under Fury to come out. Artist
Alright, we do
down.
use it, and look, it's worth
And
it.
then
We
with
find
the assist
one.
on the other one. Crashes gets a second blood.
Nice.
And this
Don't
coming
even
out
let
of
them
a
think they
timeout
can take an eco.
of
Don't
this
even let them
half fly of
breathe.
Furia. They haven't even made it out of spawn
There you
before
go,
they
the
lose 3
Utes. Oh
players.
man.
Now
What are you gonna
QCK
do,
is just gonna make a lot of noise trying to
QCK?
do
What are
some
you gonna do?
plays. But there's one player just behind it trying to greet them. The gap into the smoke, and that's Victor
Exactly.
right there. Right click classic
Oh,
at
come
least
on.
into the headshot.
Alright, you know what? It doesn't need to be
And
flawless.
this
It's okay.
Poisoner is about to come down. Second kill with
It's
the
okay.
frenzy.
It doesn't need to be flawless. Alright, there we go. Alright, I got worried there for a second. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I got worried there for a
Actually one of
second.
my favorite defensive strategy
It's okay.
protocols. You get a brimstone smoke out towards where a
okay.
killjoy turret would be on grass.
We
You
take
have your
those.
jet going forward into window.
Now we have a
There's breach stone
2-round
coming
lead.
into the window along with it.
You understand?
Fnatic does this
2 rounds.
almost
We got
all
this.
the time, and it's just such a clean looking strategy.
And like I said, we didn't have to use our
Energy
ults.
able
We
to
used
put a little
one. It's
offense in their
okay.
defense that round.
This round, we still got the
But this is
lockdown.
where it becomes important. This is
Now,
why- this is why
they
you
may
call
have
the
2
timeout
ults
for
of their own.
Furia. What can
Doesn't
he do
matter.
now with the rifle round? Seekers and Pit
What are
available.
Seekers gonna do? We just break them. It's that easy.
An opportunity to play a tight
I've
post
got your
plant.
trail.
The Seekers are out early, actually, for an early C-side control. Spike finally getting picked up here by Khalil. Digizine somehow
Punish him.
still
He's
manages
at
to
2.
get a
You have the
second
call.
kill. Big flash coming out for the assist to open up the C-site. And off this plant, there's also a lockdown ready for Khalil.
Spike planted.
Just holding long C. There's going to be a firing range coming through there. A little bit of an artist shot on Digizine's hair bun.
It's okay.
there as they get
Here's what we do.
taken
We
down.
rolling thunder down long.
Now
What are they
Kovic
gonna do?
across late, trying to protect the lockdown now being placed down by Khalil. Rolling thunder available. So
Nice.
push this through. That's gonna stun a lot of players. But Khalil fully stunned. Gets
It's
two
cosmetic.
kills. And Energy had to fall back.
Would it?
Crashes has to save his weapon into the next round.
All those pings are a nightmare. Bing, 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 bing.
It's okay. It's just one round.
Try that one. Furia
It's just for
coming
now.
back
And look at our
together.
econ. Our
Big
econ's
round
fine.
for themselves, and that
We
was
still got
just
it.
Everyone
We still
up
got
C,
this.
guarding each other, guarding flanks,
Trust
guarding
me.
that trade, and they move back together down long C. Something we've seen affect teams and not be able to shoot through smoke, so it gets
Lockdown.
too messy. But they still
We didn't even
gained
have
a
to
bit
use
of
our
control in
lockdown the
sight
previous round. We still
with
had it.
Digizine there for a
And
moment.
they
This
used their
will go
lockdown
right
and their
back
secrets,
into a
right?
timeout here for
So
NRG. Check
this
the other
round we
needs
got
to
it. We're taking
discuss
time out. I
and
understand it. We
talk.
gotta play it safe. Okay? But I'm not worried.
See how
I'm not worried. I know we got
Site
this.
Moving forward. Oh, I mean, you can't do much about that, Vansily. Nope. That one may still be in the discussion right now, but I think they're looking at other things here. And maybe not to give up so much or be so aggressive, even with that delay of the game. Still let Furia come to the spike sites to get that result in the round. I think NRG's given up a bit.
I like the music.
And you saw
I
in
don't
that
know.
previous
Music
round,
is
Furia
interesting.
had the Seekers to use the lockdown, so two of those ults being utilized to secure that round. This round, they still have the pit available, but this timeout that was called by Chen also gives an opportunity for you to discuss that maybe this might not be the round where you want to use the pit because Victor does have the lockdown to try to counter that right away.
Right.
All right.
Depending on where it's going to push you out.
All right.
And they don't have the
Take that
composition
timeout.
to really try to break that utility.
Fix our holes.
or
We
break
need
the
to.
lockdown even.
We use our util. We
Sova.
prevent them from just running into these sites. All right.
Nothing to get it
We
through
got
any
it.
walls or find where Victor could be put in lockdown. So what's the choice for Furia here to make sure this Viper's Pit becomes the most valuable? Honestly, it could just be pushing a team off, and if they can get to garage and throw it down somewhere for the retake, that would almost be immense for the way
All
it's
right.
to be played. A little bit of this mid pressure again as they keep control of garage. Sam there under his own star.
With the high tower dashing through, the spray through the smoke. A flash for the assist once again, but Victor's
Nice.
not blinded out of that one. And there's that pit. Victor staying alive, 30 HP.
Ooh, still no plant. Let's go.
We haven't planted
Oh
that
my
stuff
God,
yet.
they're so low.
Good focus towards B here. You have Artist pushed all the way up long right now, allowing the team to know they can crunch a little bit on this space. C may be a retake, but they don't have to worry about that anymore with Viper's Pit down. They do
Nice.
identify a low health Mazine.
Nice.
The lockdown finally comes in.
Yeah.
And the pivot towards garage, and that's where Som is still waiting with the shorty.
Oh, okay.
Popped right away.
I'm out of stuff.
Now there's 38 seconds left.
It's
on
okay
the clock.
because now,
But look at the
now,
health of the
it's
Furia players.
it's an even player
Pre-growth
count. But
already
look at
been
how
used.
low
They
Furia's
have
health
nothing to
is.
work with in
Okay.
terms of HP.
They can't afford to
Furia
take
has
long,
no
right?
health.
30 seconds here. They haven't done anything with long, and this is going to be Artist just staring at them with an op. Oh, the high tide just long enough on that play. They're still trying to fake out for a retake on B. Or rehit, sorry.
On the other end here. 30
Nice.
seconds left. We mentioned the low HP Victor first contact. Now the
Nice.
Frost can't
They're all low.
do too much. Now as you're storming through, trying to waste that clock down.
Nice.
Now you've secured the round.
No time.
One more to go, trying to save his weapon. That's MW0. He's gonna be able to get it, but at the end of the day, it's still the round for NRG.
Yeah.
Moving up at 11.
And as
All
close
right.
as Energy was
Two more.
to B site, they were
Two
happy
more.
to play retake on just about everything. If Artist got pushed off,
We got
it was
this.
a
That's
retake
2-0.
A. As they went into B with a Viper's Pit down, they were patient. They're like, okay, plant. Because once you plant, we are going to flood that Viper's Pit with our utility. That's Furia
Just
could
need
not
two
get
more.
themselves to get that
that
spike
easy.
down in a
It's that
secure
simple.
location. Really nicely shut down by Energy.
I can
Could
see it. I
control
can
the
taste it.
extremities to make sure B did not get lost. Here, a little bit more mid-play from Furia. I think they're liking to keep this at a distance to figure out what Energy's doing first. They have not been favoring A long at all, even for space, or even to stop Energy from getting an ult.
Now Som forced to fall back. They hit the lineup that came from the Killjoy to clear out towards the garage, allowing Digizine to dash in. But Som still winning at the platform. Digizine's trying to get a timing. After shot to try to delay.
Okay,
try to push
they
back.
they gotta know he's
But
in the
Furia
Astro
still
smoke,
committed
right?
into the C-site hit. Finesse answers back, but Mazine and
Alright, doesn't
Furia
matter.
are still battling
Okay, it doesn't matter.
and winning these one by one.
A little bit of that second layer with the cascade.
It's
going
okay.
out
We've
towards
got room to
spawn.
breathe.
That's what
We
were
can
talking
afford
about
a round
before, where
loss.
NRG
Okay.
was finding themselves going down at that default position.
We can
Furia
afford
take
it.
one step
We
more
don't need
to
these
another
rounds.
round.
We're up 2. Okay.
Really great on the teamwork from Furia here. It just seems like the power of numbers for them can't be beat at this point. Sometimes you still get the trade wrong or the utility doesn't hit, but every time they're able to be behind each other one after the other, it just seems like they steamroll a site. And you can see NRG, all those X's on the minimap are just on the entrance back in. They really didn't gain any ground.
And you have to see from that execution from Furia as well, this Viper toxic screen that goes and split towards the C site. The smoke started being thrown from the dash in from the Jazine. It also is cutting the site in an area where you can't get too much value out of finesse.
This is okay.
With the flash on the retakes.
Yeah.
And
This is
everybody's
fine.
focusing on that left side of that C site.
It's so cool because you can either take the fight on garage side or you can take the fight on the other side, or at both times, depending on where your initiator utility can fall.
So with that, it becomes open season pretty much when
Yeah.
NRG are trying to
It's
move
tough.
back into the site. No assist from, as I mentioned before, the flash is to try to blind your opponents.
Yeah.
You're going to count a lot on potentially Crashy's utility as a Sova.
It plays off a fundamental. The moment you can't help a teammate, you kind of back out of the site, right? And cutting each other off like that does exactly that to your opponents. Kind of makes them scatter. They cannot cover. Here, Artis hasn't moved for the last few rounds from long, but he will be ready to dash, but take this aggressive shot.
I suggest you move.
Nope.
Reckoning and Trailblazer.
See you later.
Now dashing away.
It's okay.
10 to 11 is a score.
It's okay. We can give them the site. We can just play retake. It's fine.
In the second
Fine.
map of the series.
We still got this.
Plat now for long in sewers. As the delay continues to come out. Madzine being a thorn on the side of the retake attempts of NRG with this utility from the harbor.
Recon ready.
At least we
See?
have an aftershock
Look.
kill. That's up from the heavens down towards hell. And that's MW0. No flashes to fight back.
We're ready.
Fault line then to come through, and that might be the call for NRG to finally move in, and that's Digizine holding at the bottom, now being pinged out. Trying to look and trying to escape, but somehow, wow! Madzine runs through the smoke with a crossfire setup. All those kills just
Okay.
happened
Okay.
instantly.
I think our issue is we can't let them get on site.
Not sure how they didn't take Madzine
The
down
retake
in the right
just
corner.
isn't.
Playing the angle didn't
It's not.
strafe out. I think
Their
he
their
made,
post plan is too
NRG
strong.
come out a little bit more than they wanted. Let's see right here. One.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, didn't strafe out as much and then takes the space. So tucking himself into that corner continuously makes Sam think. Have to check, wants to kill, then has to force it. Madzine finds
with
another
divide.
kill. Just a little moment.
Okay, this is a
of being
save.
patient
It's
here,
because we
playing off
know
of
we
Furia.
can just play to get
Now
to
towards C
overtime,
again. Remember
and
what I
we'll
said about
still
this
have
death
it.
ball? They hardly stop.
Yeah. That definitely had to be the player on the window on the retake on the A site to try to get that pick into Graffiti.
What a beautiful shot there. Nice job by Obs to just show how this protocol unfolds from Furia, and NRG pushing the other side of the map. I mean, we're going to have to play a little bit of a retake or at least lose these weapons towards the spike. And yeah, that was clean. You almost want to know if like it works against the defense. Well, yeah, you can see what Furia has in place for these rounds. Just at the last moments, giving us different strategies we haven't seen when you need these last few rounds to fake your opponent out.
And look at NRG.
Oh my god.
They're just staying towards spawn. And Furia knows this. An opportunity for them to just chase down these kills, die, get ult orbs, do whatever they can. And that's what NRG was trying not to give away. Ult orb kills. Because now this
okay.
potentially allows the Blade Storm to come through.
It's okay. I mean, here we go. All right, we've got to buy. We've got money. We've got 2 ults. NRG.
NRG having trouble on the retakes. 2 and 6 so far, and that has given the rounds over to Furia. The speed in which they take these spike sites, Van Silly, leaves little to be countered.
All right, we got this. We just need one. We just need one.
This play they do towards C. Spike is down here.
And then we go to overtime, and we can figure it out from there. All right, you get more timeouts in overtime.
Especially when Sam is playing the
Let's
4th
just get
position
there,
and
okay?
There's no more utility following behind that. Here is a tap of that spike.
We got knives.
So
what are we
there's
gonna
that
do with
reckoning
those?
available from
All right.
Madzine, the Blade
I mean,
Storm available
you gotta
for
aim first.
Digizine.
All right. I'm not.
It boils
I wouldn't
down
be
to this
scared.
last final round.
I'd be pretty
Energy
terrified.
does
But
have an opportunity to
it's
delay
fine.
with the Hunter's
It's
Fury.
okay. We got this. We got
So
this.
running that clock down for Energy, they'll be happy with that. If Fury continues to default to work the map very slowly in the last round of regulation.
Fear has no garage
Victor, though,
control.
pushing out
No
towards
mid
grass.
control either.
All of Furia grouped up here. Slowly inching forward
You,
into the
Som
A
is
site.
such a good lurk. Som is such
Energy
a good lurk.
hesitating, looking to play the retake game instead. Understanding this reckoning
Nice.
about to come
Okay,
out.
okay. I don't want
Into the
this
round.
retake.
Bladestorm missing
I
out
don't
from
like a
Digizine.
retake here.
No punishment
I'm gonna
coming
be
out from the
real.
player pushing towards spawn, which being Artist. And there is that plant coming down. Hunter's Fury is not going to be used.
I don't like this.
It's going to be used
It's okay.
for the
We
retake
can do
instead.
this.
With a Cosmic Divide available for Som 2. And the fault line initiates the retake
Nice.
and a retake attempt from Energy. And
Nice.
first Hunter's Fury kill onto
Nice.
Get the second one onto Madzine, but Digizine is pushing towards the spawn. Here is that double flank coming in here from Energy. Trying to clear towards the site. It's not being looked here on the right. And Khalil does get the
Are
kill.
you serious?
It's traded
Bro,
off.
you
It's on a
clear
2
Cubby
versus
there.
1 up to Crashies. Making a lot of noise here. He has to do it, but Digizine turns around. And so does Furia.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We took a map already. We don't even. You know what? We didn't even need a 2-0. We didn't even need a 2-0. A 2-1 is fine.
These teams
We can go to the third map. We can afford it. We're
just
fine.
makes
We're
Energy
okay.
struggle at the end. We saw them go to double
At the end of the
OT
day,
versus
all
NIDR
this
as
is
well.
for
This one
Furia
doesn't
is some
reach that,
cope.
but the end of
Okay.
the game just seems closing it out. A
We,
struggle
energy's gonna
for
take it.
NRG here.
We still got it.
That defensive side we mentioned.
All right.
They only got, what, so many 6 on attack. Was that enough for when they moved on to defense? And they could not get the retakes going onto Furia. It just did not work. The amount of eco rounds that went back and forth in this match as well. I'm sure the desk will talk about it, but kind of absurd what
This
the teams
load.
were giving up in terms of that.
The end of the day, too, you
All right. So
could
Pearl's the third
read
map.
the round well. You can call the strats as well as you want here for Finesse. but when you
13-11
have
and
players like
13-11.
Madzine, and also players like Digizine. That
Why was
doesn't
Bind
seem
so
to
much
let
longer?
go of the momentum that he's built from that first map on Bind, it becomes a very dangerous series right now for Energy. So with that, we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, the final map to decide it all on Pearl.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Furia is looking really strong, but I think, okay, this is gonna be such a close map. I don't know. I still have hope that Energy can take it. Like, it's gonna be close for sure, but I do think Energy can take it. I do think they can take it. Like,
Again, to a bit of a default. Is this an Aldor for long grab? It's like they'll at least try to push QCK off, doing a bit of damage on both sides to start off. Oh my gosh! Digizine's pushes never fail.
The hat trick now.
On the low by rounds, but they are making a statement with it right now. Energy has to find a way to lock this out, and Chet's gonna go ahead and give a word on that. The team.
alright, okay. Let me think about this. Alright, okay. I think realistically, like, both of these teams have a really good shot here, but I don't know. I feel like NRG, especially like on Bind and even on Haven, like they just looked like to me it felt like Furia was doing a lot of like they're really strong, yeah, but if NRG's like strategy can come through, like I feel like NRG can, and I think NRG has some good strategy to like counterplay how aggressive Furia can be. I feel like NRG can take this. I don't know. I'll remind you again, the reason why this is a big match is because whoever wins this is on top of the other person. Obviously, Furia's already on top, but if NRG wins this, it'll be 4-3 record, and then 4-3 record for Furia as well, which matters because then it goes to a map differential to decide it, and if NRG takes it, they'll have more map wins, so they'll be over Furia, and continue to try and secure themselves a good spot here in the playoffs. Yeah, and if you don't know what we're playing for here, playoffs, you go to Masters Tokyo, which is basically just it's not the like main champions like match, like it's not the big one, but it is still a powerful or a good win to start off tier 1 competition here before it goes to champions. But yeah, right now it's the Americas playing, EMEA and Pacific, they're all playing right now, and the top 3 all get to go to Masters Tokyo, which is, so yeah, you get 3 from Americas, 3 from EMEA, 1 from EMEA lock-in, and then 3 from Pacific, and then I have no idea what these are, but I believe it's the Chinese teams. But yeah, should be pretty cool. And I'm doing this stream, which is a little bit different from me doing like my own casting of challengers because it's something to do. Yeah, I don't know. Challengers is still looking pretty strong. I do think it's interesting because like this year it was 6 teams got to qualify through the open qualifiers to get to challengers, but next year it's only going to be 2 teams. The way they're doing it next year is the top 10 teams from challengers North America get a free spot in next year's challengers, and then 2 teams will make it through the open qualifiers to get into next year's challengers. And I believe next year's challengers will be the last challengers before Premier is the way you make it into challengers, because that's what they want it to be, is eventually if your Premier team does well enough, you'll be able to make it to challengers. Obviously this year it's just a test, and I think next year it's going to be a similar sort of thing, where it's sort of just a test, but I'm not entirely sure how Premier is going to play into qualifying for challengers, other than that's what they want to happen eventually. But yeah.
And we're going to map 3, people, as Furia is outside getting some fresh air, because oh boy, that one was a long game on Haven. But they managed to take it, and that means that NRG now finds themselves in quite the precarious position as we get ready for Pearl. Of course, I'm Golden Boy alongside with Mimi as well as Mel. But Furia now one step closer from being able to clinch his playoff spot, which, you know, I mean, yes, NRG is trying to stay alive here, but that is the important thing for Furia. They want playoffs, Mimi.
They absolutely do. And this game was so impressive. After a very close first half, it looked like, but in those last few rounds, Furia took advantage of just a few little mistakes that NRG made in those late round retakes, pulled it back, and have now pushed us all the way to Pearl.
It was those small timing in those last like 3 A retakes that just threw everything off kilter for them. I think that was what broke the camel's back. And you look, they had 9 potential retake opportunities on NRG, and they only won 2 of them across the board.
It was wild to see. But even before that, what got Furia so close into that game was the eco rounds. The first half in particular, they were winning just an absolutely absurd amount of these eco rounds. It seems like this team, when they're on these lighter buys, they just let the individuals off the leash, and DJ just does stuff like that.
I mean, that's what they're known for, is just this individual play. Like, there's no support there. That is purely an unassisted, he's in a micro 1v3, just dueling them by himself.
But you can also see how that would also work against them, because it happened multiple times, right? Digizine kind of trapped in a position where he's like getting a little too antsy, but it's the fact that his skill-wise, his aim is out of this world. He's cracked out, but it's those small details as well. But even with that, they were still able to walk away with the win, Mimi.
Yeah, it's great from Furia, but for NRG, this is a team that we normally pride for their ability to kind of shut down those solo plays, to find when people are getting aggressive. Look at their series versus Crew on Haven. They did such a good job of denying Keds at those moments. But here it seems so much scrappier from NRG. There was a lot of gaps that Furia managed to find and exploit with just that insane player quality.
And that's where it comes out the most, I feel like, on these anti-ecos that NRG kept losing. It was 5 total and 2 from each team. There's also 1 that happened to NRG on bind. You can't let these things get out of play. Like, you can't just lose control of these situations. And yet, time and time again,
this is so
DJ
cool.
Zine, DJ Zine, DJ Zine, he's coming up and getting these important kills for the team.
Yeah, and also, too, it's important to note, right, like, when we see Furia play, we know that the aim skill, it's raw, it's there, it's nasty. But you want to see these side attacks. You want to see this coordination start to come in here. And maybe you were getting a little bit more of that from Furia, especially toward the tail end of this game.
I mean, you saw some of the things that we were priding NRG for in map number 1 out of the seam on that C exactly. It was the patience to kind of take the first stage towards the site, pause for a second, wait for the counter utility, then push deeper through. In this round as well, it's finding the gap on the player towards hell and having everyone else ready to swing once the volley of utility falls from NRG. Furia is a squad that is so good at, when given an opportunity, claiming it and winning those rounds.
Yeah, well, we told you it was going to be a banger series, and I don't think we disappointed there. NRG and Furia definitely didn't disappoint. 13-11 Bind, 13-11 Haven, but now we settle the score on Pearl as we head to the underwater city to determine who walks away with this win. And honestly, at this point now, hands in the air, Mel, I don't care. I'm in for the ride, baby. I just want to see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't want to see 5 more thrifty wins in one match. I'm good on
I don't know if you can handle that.
I can't. It's too much.
Oh, all right. We'll see what we get here.
Comp change out of NRG. Previously, they were playing this Raze comp, which I think the idea was kind of an anti-Harbor Viper to use that nade to shut down plants and such. But that doesn't end up happening. Instead, they pivot Artis over to the Jet, just playing the standard meta comp as Furia does as well.
That's an interesting change. I've actually always liked the Raze and that additional util that NRG has shown on this map, but it looks like they really want to keep Artis on that Jet pressure and keep that up online.
It might be about the attacking sides. That's where they're starting here, and in the past, they've really struggled, particularly with the post plants at getting in, and the Jet gives you a lot more proactivity than that Raze for Artis.
All right, guys, well, we got one more map. Is it going to be NRG or is it going to be Furia? Let's send it back over to Vansili and Rip for the call.
All right.
Thank you, GB. Even I don't know the answer to that one because we've had an amazing series between these two teams. The first 2 maps going 13-11, and in past histories for these two teams as well, they've got victories going to 13-11 or losing 11-13.
It won't let me
to
do
other teams
75.
like NYBR or Leviathan.
There you
But
go.
now I'm hoping at least
All right.
for this series to go to the distance, because if not, I'll be sad.
Quadruple OT. There we go. Manifest it. It'll come.
The race stays strong and it's neck and neck
Quadruple overtime.
I'm ready for this
I think
RSJ
this
to
could
come
be a
out on
long
the
overtime.
site.
I don't know about
Des was
quadruple
talking
OT,
about
but
all that utility Raze
I think the
can
world
dump in. We'll
record
have to see how it's
right now
changed
for
up here
Valorant Pro
with the Jet
overtime
being
is
played. I think
23
the
and
team can follow
21.
Jet a little bit
So,
easier. Jet gets to play that
you
Jack
know.
in the box style play out of her own cloud
But
burst
obviously
and
we're not
allow
even
the
in
team
overtime yet.
to regain that
Let's
distance
just
that Raze may make with blast
dial it back
pass.
a little bit.
Cascade, default take towards B long here. Mid pressure may be gained by Furia, and that's when they can start to crunch the map. So NRG may have to work fast out of this situation. Ooh, patient dog.
No stun there, but
There's
a
the
dash
dash.
right into the alarm bot and a nanostorm to come out, but that doesn't matter for the rest of NRG. We've moved in for a plan off the cove, and Artis now has control at the back of the B site. Triple flank coming out from Furia right now, though.
They made good ground. We're actually waiting in spawn right now for this 3 stack to get out towards B long and create the pressure for the retake.
So Furia is not allowing here NRG to
Good
play
shot.
the pulse play.
Ooh.
One make it away, but Victor still gets picked off by MW's Here
Nice.
comes the fight. Long range finesse with the Sheriff, but the fight comes
Nice.
back here inside the B site. Both players moving in from
Nice.
B, and both players getting dropped by NRG.
Wow.
Let's take it.
NRG really
Let's take it.
identifying
Let's start it off
where
good.
the danger was coming from in that situation. Held their positions perfectly, and just having 2 to start denying the 3. 2 members of NRG to start denying the 3 on that B long retake. Actually pretty impressive here. NRG 1B strat to start us off, and they do get a successful post plant and take on that. Little A orb control here for the secondary part of the second round, I should say. And we still have this lurk coming out of finesse. Have to see how aggressive Furia gets for these positions. how constant they're going to do this. Harbor wall out right away.
You're asking how aggressive? Very aggressive.
they
4
jump.
players out there. There's the first shot from Artis. The flash. At least we answer back for a bit of damage. And that you're going to be
Nice.
happy with, though. Crash is getting 3 kills in an orb. You're getting so close now into the Seekers on the next round if he goes for the plant.
And we know how much that NRG focuses those Seekers. Even with the Rays on bind, they were still going for a bit of that sky play, making sure that they could get themselves up towards that Seeker's information grab. And already the plant, too. You were calling it, Vans. It's definitely a priority here.
You see it, Energy. Finesse is saying, go for the kill.
Yeah, find it.
On
Get your
this
ult
last
now.
player, exactly. or you get the kill, or you die, and we'll get the Seekers.
Make it happen.
So the other one's just playing the pulse plan in case
Toxin screen down.
they get ninja'd by Manzine right here. But he's just holding his ground towards Plaza. Doesn't want to give that orb away from to Crashies, rather.
Well, he's in range now, so he can kind of play it real slow.
What's that game called? Hide and Seek? Ninja USP?
Did you say what that game is called? What's that game? You know it's called Hide and Seek.
Ooh,
There you go.
the timing,
No
come on.
orb coming out for Crashies. The round comes in for Energy. So focus potentially into the next round to fight for orb control for Energy that could get denied by Furia.
Over towards B to start things off. Seeing QCK go towards this B link area makes me think we'll get a harbor wall mid. And they may try to just add a little bit of pressure even if they don't aggress it. It looked really funny. I love when you see players early play anti-flash. Like, did you see just jumped out there and looked at the wall, like in the middle of the open. Ended up turning around when that flash came around. So a good wait by Energy as well to time that one in their favor.
Look at that, it's a double spray too.
Yeah.
Just to try to get players crossing over, and Crashies now picks it up, and yes, Som is moving down.
That Ares looks so big.
Spammable spot, and they know they're going to be spamming Vans, so buy an Ares. They go into the site, that's the Cove plant, and it is going to be the retake for Furia. We have guns on both sides now, just the util to be used on the retake.
Seekers to gain the space to push in through behind the Trailblazer, but Artis couldn't get that kill into spawn. Look at Furia rotating across all the way back towards spawn. Don't want to
You know
play
what?
the retake
If
for
I'm
long.
Furia, I take a 5-man save. I'm not gonna lie.
This retake's gonna be so
The
slow.
post plant is so difficult here. The retake is so
Yeah,
difficult.
the high tide to come out. Okay, the high tide crosses towards the back of the halls. Flash to flash, and it's a surprise one from Som. The spray with the Ares with the second one too. Did you see it moving in? And that Ares did a lot of damage into the round. Time for QCK to save and for Energy to move up by 3
What'd I
into
say?
the round on Pearl.
What'd I
Sam
say?
over here just holding down the trigger, basically creating
3 in a
audio
row. Alright,
warfare,
Energy,
so
just roll
Furia's
them
not
over.
Even hearing a damn thing as they enter
Come
the
on.
site other than Sam's Ares. That makes things tough in the chaos.
That Ares is bassy, and we feel it here in the Riot Arena.
Oh yeah, it's shaking the ground a little bit. There it is.
Ooh. Nice sensory little feelings, tingles I'm getting right now.
All right, 4th round. Energy cleaning up the bonus, able to pull that into their favor here. Really nicely done. A reckoning to work with. Energy, a lot of times using that to separate a team who's already pushed off site. Once Energy has flexed a little bit, they'll use it on when Furia would retake, pushing them back even farther or forcing their hand to come into an aggressive stance. A main orb fight goes down once again. That's going to be a win for Furia, at least on a little bit of map space, but Energy feeling fine with guns here and still nobody taking any damage.
And Trailblazer saw 3 players too, so Energy is quickly pivoting towards the B site. Created by a Marshall, by Manzine. But Manzine just holds the door open now for Energy to move in. Snake bites to delay for any crosses coming out. And delaying any pushes coming up from the B-Link as well. And that's going to be a little bit of a 101. Nonetheless, plant still comes down. And NW0 is looking for a timing play with the Stinger.
Just hearing the kill, jumping around on either side.
High tides too good to continue to delay. Cascades too.
Ooh.
There's finally a nice shot coming out from Manzine. But you can definitely see it now. The 4th round in the sights for Energy. as Furia not committing into the retake. Continue to build up these kills. But it comes down to the nice execution back for Energy on the lower buy for Furia. Medzina fall from the spike.
Yeah. No more of these eco round wins with Energy are going to be letting through, playing much more safe.
Let's
the
go.
Protocol here, you can almost see it every time. He did it. Sam did it with the Ares last time, but the Phantom, this positioning. It's that Sam gets to this positioning with the help of Crashies. They hold back Hall, and the rest of the team knows what to do already. So as long as Energy can get that into place, they feel super comfortable on these holds. And that the strength of them, the takes and post plants all being successful for Energy, you're going to force a timeout here for Furia.
And always micro adjustments coming out of these timeouts from Furia. So far, it's been an inning game. A plant try to play the retake. Just trying to iron out those protocols for the retake. You saw the idea with the high tide on that attempt at round number 2, if I'm not mistaken, when they were trying to flash behind that high tide, but Energy were already ready for that. How do you break that timing now?
Honestly, you get Furia to call a timeout, you go mid to A, or just A. It's been B the whole time. With a bit of early round A main control, the mind games start now. Furia's conditioned that B is going to be a hit now from Energy. Something Finesse is instilling in their minds with always an early round towards A. So Furia left guessing again here out of this timeout. Digizine with the operator though. So see if they can get themselves into a position to make sure this gets a return on investment. And they're actually choosing the short shot of it. They're going to put it towards A main here. So Digizine's going to have to be even more careful, get out of that situation if he gets rushed. Ping's coming in all ready to say something may be up here at A main. Digizine dodges it. A peek through that is so tough because you're already slowed. And he doesn't even want to chance it.
Especially when the cannon of that operator is just sticking out.
Exactly.
But there is that high tide that comes in behind the cascade, yet QCK still gets the pick on
Good
their
trade, good trade.
Now the battle comes down into Art, the control attempt. And you saw Finesse running through his own snake bite.
Yep.
To get vulnerable for the kill, and MW0 makes it away with 19 HP. Meanwhile, though, the plant has come down towards the A site. There's a late lurk coming out from Manzine. Closing the gap. You need Furia to make the noise here from spawn. Before you could actually get the retake coming in from Art. And there is that noise being made. 2 of them spraying from the flower pots. Flash is coming out just to try to blind a bit. But that clock is ticking out way too quickly in the eyes of Furia. But they're still falling in. Kills are still coming out for Energy. And it's not going to happen. This round's got to come in for Energy no matter what. With the last 2 pillars on the
Nice try. Nice try, Furia.
Wow.
It don't matter though.
That was a great retake by Furia as well to figure out the crossfires,
and
but it was
just as I was
too little too
anticipating.
late with the amount of pressure that Energy put onto this round, and it was a switch up. The timeout gets called, and Energy
Listen, Furia's
switches
like
over
an
to A
offense-sided
for the
team,
plan.
okay?
And you saw how committed they were to pushing
So
through
Energy
that
just
molly.
gonna destroy on
It
their
was,
offense.
Finesse's
We're gonna
own
switch
molly,
sides.
So you're seeing that even if Energy
And
is
we're just
stalled a
gonna
little bit
already.
from their strategy,
Energy's
they're
already
doing
gonna have so
everything
many
they
rounds.
can to repair that. Get the
Furia
site
won't really
and
be
help
able to
Sam
do
and the rest
anything
of the
to
team
combat
try to
that.
plant. That was a tough one, but Energy still come out strong. Low buy here for Furia. Can they get back to some of these eco round wins at the distance here at B long? Energy are doing a great job to keep that space and say no way to those stingers. But is it the Blade Storm from Digizin that changes this round?
He's in a great spot for it. There's that first flash, but he's not affected. There's that first kill. The second one does his job.
It's okay, we traded off.
Move forward, and then W0 comes out with the Sheriff. Catching Artis off guard. Now burning away from a Nano Swarm, down to 41 HP. Spike now recuperated. Back and latched on Victor, as he and Finesse are looking to turn around back in their favor. As they cut noise, they're also making sure that they get some sort of timing, some sort of punish.
Yeah.
As Furia, for their sides, are looking to pick up the rifles that were left behind on this push.
And this looks to be Furia's first plant denial of the map, too. Holding strong, still doable here by the 2 members, Finesse and Victor. They try to drop the wall on their own time.
There's no flash.
To get that frag through. Yeah, there's no flash to be playing with.
30 seconds left.
But there's a sheriff!
What?
3 of them. Might have cursed that one, my bad. Said we might be getting
okay.
a Furia eco here.
It's okay.
And they actually do pull it out.
It's okay.
So
that was huge.
That's a blessing this time.
Yeah, a blessing there. Digizine, nicely done. And yeah, Furia stops that pressure here. Energy's been able to make the site, get that spike down, and secure a post plant. Here, they don't even get the plant. So no extra money, no extra ground gained. And a little bit of confidence here as Furia gas themselves up.
Damn, bro did not want to fist
That's the
pump.
4th eco of the series. In
4
favor
ults
of
for
Furia.
energy, though.
Keep adding them up, man.
We got
Yes,
this.
Energy was what, like 1?
Yeah. Crazy stuff. A lot of ult here for Energy to force themselves into a site, but Artis has taken some major damage to start this round at long.
That's definitely the silver lining. Winning 5 rounds in a row, having that economy, having the ults to potentially break the economy right away against Furia. Should Furia want to go into like these heavy commits back to retake the A site? Saying A site this time around because we have a lockdown initiated by Energy and waiting for the high tide to come out and move into the A site.
Looks like they'll save Reckoning for that post plant. Artis healed up now. That Judge comes up big, and the Viper's Pit goes down. A lot invested into this round. If Furia could pick this up, it will be huge.
Toxin screen down.
Look at that. Finesse pretty much could just hold behind his pillar the whole time to kick that pit up.
Oh, the delay.
There is that Reckoning to delay even more. We still have the Judge inside of this pit. Seeker is now being used from Crashies to find the information close. Artis is just waiting by the shed. But everything is looking good for Energy right now because you do have everything, the time in your side. And it might be even a 5-player save for Furia right now. Wow.
Taking a strat page out of Leviathan's book.
Wait. Okay, Artis should make it out.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh. Just on the edge.
It's okay.
He had a judge.
It's
He
okay.
had a judge.
That's true. He did have a judge.
Yeah, it is what it is, you know. Hopefully he threw the knives. All right, it's okay. We still got this. We got the 6th round. We just need. I mean, if we can get the rest of the rounds, which I think we can, we'll be fine.
Once they gather together
Listen,
at A, shut down Furia. That's.
I'm not even worried. All right, Furia gets 1, and that's it. That's all they get. 1 is all they get.
Really tough getting reset, especially with an op buy.
Yeah, and Energy
Probably.
really used everything on that previous round.
Yeah, look at actually 0 alt points. It's a rarity to see unless you're on pistol rounds. So this all comes down to the utility team play. They have no big ace up their sleeve to get this site take.
And also to try to stop Digizine with this operator in the Trailblazer side. Yet Energy still wants to commit into this because a dash has been used by Digizine, but he repositions towards the back of the B holes.
They invest so much to get him off this pick, just to make him feel uncomfortable.
An off shot miss, but MW0 is still there for the crossfire. 3 players inside the site.
MW0.
Yeah, with the spray through the toxic screen on the attack left.
Nice.
Up. But the Nano Swarm answers
Good pick,
back.
good pick.
Re-heal coming out from Crashies. And MW0 falling doesn't give any heal back in favor of Furia. As Energy is looking to rush all the way back towards the A site, but thanks to the power of numbers, thanks to the kills that MW0 had at the beginning of this round, nobody has to rotate, so Magazine's waiting there.
So Victor, given a job here in this 3v4. He splits off over towards shops. Looks like he may actually be messing with a bit of the KJ util if they can find it. And this activates the team. Still have a guiding light to go. Only one of those used over by
30 seconds left.
Still waiting for the recharge.
Oh, there's a jiggle.
What a hold.
Actually, it wasn't even a jiggle. It was just Finesse trying to walk down, and it was in full sight by Madzine for the kill. And now with the alarm bot, that's just going to be the save now for Crashies.
Nice try.
Nice hold from NW0 at the beginning of that round, allowing Furia to move up at 2.
It's okay. We got money for it. We got the rounds for it. We're okay.
By Furia to make this round.
I mean, it's impossible for Fury.
Could be a low buy here if they went down. Then they just give another
It's
round
impossible
to
for them to
energy,
gain
so
the
very
lead going into the
smart
next
play
map.
across the map, just
Or
understanding the
going
state
to the
of
next
game.
half.
And that's
So
going to help them get one for themselves.
we're fine.
All
We're
right.
okay.
The state of the game.
Even
is
if
still
we lose the
Energy's
rest
in
of
the
these,
lead.
at the very least,
We're gonna have to
it's
see that be
impossible
carried up. It seems
for
like it's on
Furia
them now
to get the
these
lead
sites
going to the
taken.
next half. So we're okay.
Furia has started to put up
But they won't get
very
the rest of
strong
the rounds.
defense.
We will get the rest
And
of
these
the
late
rounds.
round calls from Finesse are still getting stopped. little timeout for Energy here so they can discuss that.
Yeah. Especially talking about stoppage now. Chet trying to figure out how they can actually overpower Furia's relentless aggression to just stick within the site. Doesn't even matter if you're going to do lineups here for nanoswarms and snake bites to prevent the B-Link from rotating across. Because everybody's already inside the site for Furia. So is it going to be one of these plays where you want to try to get a little bit more of that mid-control to try to force these players away? We haven't seen too much of that into the B-Link pressure coming out from Energy yet.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even needed.
And this Seekers for MW0 works out so well. Energy are calling a timeout. They want to get a lot of return on. If it takes a long time, Seekers, you have Furia figuring out that strategy almost in full, depending on how those read. So a nice little way to stave off the strategy. And
There we go.
Coming out of a timeout with. And just saw him forced down onto a little bit of a low buy here. Nope, goes to the Guardian. We saw that banging earlier, so they shouldn't have too much trouble.
And then back to the Bulldog.
And then back to the, he's...
And then the Guardian.
Whatever. I think he has a coupon for the Guardian, so why not, right? This is our third map of this series here. Energy 3-3, trying to tie up that score line with Furia, who's currently 4-2 if Energy take the win as the run for playoffs continues. A little bit of a rotation off the map as they cascade towards A. And this is just going to be Khalil all the way in the back of sight with some kill utility and delay for the plant here.
Now is a call now for Furia to try to add that pressure into middle. Because Energy haven't been going into that B-Link, that's where DJZine is actually posted up. So Khalil playing the solo B hold. And that's a great opportunity now for Energy to move inside this B site and do that regular execution. But there is still some delay coming out from the nanoswarms, and Som finally gets the plant in from the cove.
Just to the left. They double orbit. Viper's gas goes down. But now we get our two in the back, right? It's actually not going to be Crashies with Som this time, but Artis.
Oh, no. We wanted Finesse to actually
Okay, we
break
got the spike
sneaker,
down.
it's just a double swing
Our
instead.
post plant's crazy. What are they gonna do?
Nicely done, as you can play the long range post plant for Energy.
Is that shorty now?
Furia trying
What
to
are you
fight
gonna
back
do?
towards the back hole, and indeed the shorty from Som gets the kill. Khalil down at 3 HP, and that might be it right there. Can't even escape. DJZine looking to save his operator. That is a nice read for Energy. Oh, and a kill. Even better for the kill, but a nice read for Energy.
Flawless
Extra back after the
round.
timeout.
With a flawless.
On
That's
top of that, yeah.
exactly what you need now to make the statement. Keep those weapons up, and it feels good, especially when you can get a flawless against the operator. It means DJZine's not finding anything. Energy is able to avoid that. Furia stuck on how to win these retakes right now. They have a kill round and a round timeout. That's how they've won so far. The retakes just are not hitting at the moment. The operator makes that
We got
much
this.
tougher, especially on Pearl.
Just get the rest of these,
you
and
haven't
then
gotten the
Fury
early kills in.
will only have 2
Shred
rounds.
your opponent. Up
And
on
that's
top of
it.
the wall.
Pretty simple. I'm not. My
See
commentary
how
here
they
is
can
not
get a
great.
focus on this. Already playing around
Alright.
that energy goes towards A. Not even for the orb focus, but for a lot of pressure, throwing it in. They'll still grab orb, but ready to just dump this utility out and cause a move for Furia.
Finesse is just holding behind the whole time.
It's just sketchy. Gotta love it.
This is just pre-fired shots, though.
Right.
Finesse still has the lurk. The orb to come up, pushing up DJZine. And onto this
Timing.
time, and DJZine scoping
Timing.
down. And Finesse
Oh, it doesn't
comes
matter.
back.
Oh my gosh. That's
Nice, good trade, good
A
trade.
little revenge from the bind kill right there.
And both duelists, both Jets now fallen. So we had fights on both extremities. Still, player advantage comes out for Energy. We're pivoting back towards B, where there's still the full KJ utility. The thing is, though, is it's placed towards a back push, and they don't have artists anymore for Energy. So this might be an opportunity with an open site.
And we talked about how much that up was saved now down for DJZine. A clear walk up to
30
contact here. A
seconds
wall going down, but luckily a
I
second.
just realized
one
neither
is
of these teams
presented
are
here,
playing
and
Astra.
Crashies has time to flash out with the team.
The beauty of the double
That
controller.
is
Yeah.
Crashies is
interesting.
still looking for the control towards the back of the site, nonetheless. Everything is being shot down. There's that final nanoswarm. Khalil gets the flick onto the kill. We actually only have
spike
13
down.
seconds left into the round. Cove gets picked up, but at least Som gets the plant. Finesse continuing to lurk. Now the lockdown's even broken right away.
Nice.
Dazera
2v2.
2v2, but we know where they
just a
are.
flanker from Long B. The jump spot to confirm it from Victor. It's gonna have to be a timing from both Manzini and MW0. While Victor and Finesse continues with the crossfire from B-Link in the back of the B site.
Backing up.
Now into 1v1s.
Nice.
Individual fights, both
Oh,
on either
not
end.
as nice.
Up to Victor now against NW0.
There's time.
Clock is ticking, yes, but
Victor,
they
you
have
have
to come
health.
with a tap at least now.
He knows.
Just waiting. Victor swings across. The flick. The 4 came to the round, but does he
Wait a
have the
minute.
time for
It's
it?
just
We might not have it.
It's just there. It's
Oh.
0.29. Oh my gosh. In a bit of an altered strategy here on the side of Furia, Khalil moves the mollies that he has one into the back hall to stave off the speed of that attack. In the end, maybe that was or maybe it wasn't. Plays out to the 1v1. And what a shot by the flank. Coming in, MW0. I mean, it's the right call. Even at that distance, you choose one angle. Putting your mouse in the middle gives you a 50-50 to each angle, so you have to choose, and you have to flick if you're wrong. And what a flick we got from MW0.
It's okay. It's okay.
Ultimate here to
I
be
keep
used
saying
for
that, but
denial
it's
if
because
Mazine
it's
wants to
true.
throw that out
I mean, we already
immediately
take the
as he
lead
gets to
going
B.
into the next half.
Does
Like,
not. Yes, he does.
we're fine.
Seen this strategy before from
Everything's
Furia
fine.
here. He puts the molly mid, heads to B, and just tries to direct the opponents towards the other site.
And that could have been the story there. If NRG didn't win the round, the struggles of Furia on the retake plays. Now finally getting the second one. Off a huge clutch.
Right there.
Coming out from NW0. And his mid control that was talked about earlier on for NRG seems to be one to use now. Artist just
Double
walking across,
wall.
no dash, and QCK just waiting for the 3K.
Mid.
Bro.
One enemy remaining.
That
Slinger
wall
picked
on
up.
wall on one way. Like, what are you gonna do trying to get through that?
Yeah.
It's like walking through cobwebs. Just get it off. It's freaky.
It's okay, we'll
These
take the last
games
round,
right
it's
now,
fine.
All three of them
Last
delivering.
round
here.
Fine.
NRG, we worried that they didn't get too many attack rounds on Haven. They've shored that up, got a good amount here that could make a defensive side work for Pearl. And just coming through both of these walls here, so tough to readjust your aim, get into position. Furia with a great defense there.
And how do you actually want to try to go for that swing, right? The
Yeah.
protocols of going through a high tide like that to try to train a kill is
It's like,
very, very difficult
How
to do.
far is your far swing? What's my short swing? Yeah,
Not gonna go
everybody's
too far
wide
'cause of
swinging.
the high tide for sure.
A main control coming up and a little bit of mid love here from Furia. They start to move out, covering each other's angles, and this will give them an idea of where they can crunch. But they're not going to move until that spike goes down. Obviously, no words from Khalil mean it's mostly towards A. As we get a quick flash over and through that hole of art.
In the top of window right here, top of plaza, being watched by the operator Digizine. Two other players being QCK and NW0 watching towards shop, and all of NRG pivoting across here. You talked about it. What information can they get so that they can get this pinch? This time as NRG pivots towards the B site, it's gonna have to be on Khalil's utility and the jump spots from that B site. And it's been spotted, and now the lurk comes. The retake, the flank is now activated.
Here it goes. Ouch, ouch. Artist has to move. Delay plant.
No.
He moves in for a kill on top of that.
Crazy stuff. Just
There's
wild.
the lockdown coming in.
What?
Nice.
Gets 2 kills in the back of control.
It's like he opened his eyes. 2 kills were there.
And you're now
Incredible
securing,
knowledge.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
pretty much secured this last round.
What are you running for? You
to
want
cover
to
the back
save
lines.
on the
The
last
ultra
round?
delay from Victor.
We
The
got it.
last 2 players of Furia trying to move in from the B link.
We
where
got
you
it.
have everything you need here. 5
Easy.
players alive for NRG.
Easy round.
From turning in favor of Furia. But this man
It's
is
okay.
still
I mean,
alive
there's no
here.
time.
Finally
Oh,
stopped
yeah.
by Sama, the operator. Up to Mancini
There's no
in a
time.
3
What are you gonna
versus
do?
1, but that clock's now ticking down. Securing the round here for NRG. They'll end the half now, 8-4, as the spike will go off. Even if Victor
There we
gets the
go.
final
All right, 2 more. Wait, 2 more. 5 more.
Energy one
That's
step
it.
ahead here.
We're
That
4 ahead.
positioning
This is so good for us.
Stop Digizin from using
We're in
the
such a good spot
operator
right
to
now.
Get into a good position. Finesse has been prioritizing that position quite a bit. He's been reading how you get Digizine playing on it, and how the team is retaking from the side of Furia. So just masterminding the defense there at B.
Well, we had an opportunity to speak with Digizine on the return of Carlau as a coach with the team. Let's see what he has to say.
A importância do Carlão é porque, pra mim, né, mais que coach, ele é líder de fato. Ele consegue liderar bem, ele sabe lidar com as pessoas, ele tem jeito muito especial de lidar com as pessoas. É nisso que ele ganha de muitas pessoas. Então a gente estava sentindo muito essa falta, porque querendo ou não, a gente estava conversando pelo TS, mas às vezes não é a mesma coisa do que estar ali presente. Realmente o cara tá ali toda hora falando o que tem que fazer, as coisas que estão certo ou errado. Então a gente estava sentindo muito isso na pele. Então a vinda, a chegada dele no caso pra cá, ajudou muito a nossa confiança e querendo ou não, parece que deu uma nova cara pro time, sabe? A gente não tava com o nosso coach, jogamos, sei lá, metade da liga quase sem o nosso coach, então a gente queria hoje ganhar por ele, por ser estreia dele, por nós e por todo mundo que apoia a gente. Então muito importante ter ele presente com a gente.
And they got that last time there where Carlau's return. This time it's his second game. Playing against NRG now. And they're really pushing it to the distance. The third map. It looked like it was really on NRG's side, but off these timeouts being called by the coach, we see an 8-4. A closer gap. But now Furia on the attack could do a lot of damage here with how MW0 this time around has been popping off since that first half. 15-8-3.
It makes them such
I'm not
a
even worried.
scary opponent. Because when you go to that attack side, if MW0 was having a good game on defense, you can expect Digizine to have a good game on attack. And still MW0 to follow up after that. So this only, I think, gets harder here. We have two teams that are fantastic at attacking each other. We even see Furia's attack sometime from their defense. So yeah, this is going to be on NRG to have the same game at denying that or denying any plans, stopping Furia from getting the site.
And that's a very important one there for NRG's winning conditions, something that Mimi pointed out on the desk before. When the previous rounds, the previous matches that they played on Pearl, they've played with arrays, right? So you had those names to be able to deny as much as you could through the codes that you're going to attempt to plant, for QCK. But now that you don't have these nades, how do you activate artists on the defense? And it starts off with NRG looking for that
Don't worry
pressure
about it.
up towards the A side.
I'm sure NRG has it figured out.
And Furia
Sure they don't have a
to
raise,
slowly
but who
move
needs a
up
raise?
here for some mid-side control.
It's a good point. We'll see how much trouble Cove gives
NRG
them well,
doesn't.
since they can't ship it
Trust
down
me.
as fast. A little cascade flying through, and they just want this mid
It all starts with this pistol
on
round.
the enemy side. So they go all the way through towards B-Link to hit it from both. A little crossfire entry. What a neat little start to this strat, but can they execute it on site? That's where it's going to count.
This is actually going to pin Victor towards the back of the B site, especially after that flash that confirms that he's playing back there. Furia now moving in. Victor popping both Nanostorms just to cover one angle before we close in. And it's a 1-for-1.
It's okay.
Thankfully through the cascade. Finesse was still able to get a kill.
Take our trade.
Plant now comes down. NW0 pushing towards the spawn. But here's an off angle by Khalil. A close angle. And it's won. So far, everything's being won by Furia.
Oh my gosh, he lives blind.
Just fighting behind the pillar.
Last
Ghost
player standing.
versus the Frenzy. And Crashies versus the World. And the World comes crashing down.
It's okay, we don't need a
as the
pistol.
pistol
We're up.
comes in for
Like,
Furia.
they're gonna win this next round too, but it's okay because we're up
Taking
4
so
rounds.
much space.
We can afford losing
Almost
these first 2
undetected, I
rounds.
think, at
We can
first,
afford
too.
it.
It was a guessing game for NRG to start there, and then just beautiful job by Mazine at the end of B, taking out 2 alone, especially getting the blind flash jump out, knowing the movement he had to make without being able to see is always really cool to see these players having that second nature knowledge of each map and just moving around with their eyes closed, basically. Pistol round for Furia. That's the start they needed. How do they transition into the next few rounds? They're giving a lot of space here to start off. They wait all the way back. So waiting for this guiding light. Crashies was not able to detect as they move out towards A. So this is
Come
all
on.
contact right now for Furia. No noise made.
Come on.
When you spot them,
There you go.
Digizine has that Vandal.
Looks like Sam got the orb as well towards A. So they're focusing that Reckoning to come out. I think once we see Mazine get a little bit closer, this activates on site.
And a second contact play. Now the execution comes in.
Sam trying to get something here behind this high tide in the cascade, but it's Crashies instead that meets his demise against Digizine. QCK looking for a plant right now, and NRG are just flooding in with the pistols, breaking the cove, continuing to spray across the high
Nice,
tide.
prevent the plant. Good kill, Victor.
Get a kill onto Digizine.
Energy aren't giving it up.
Come on, they still don't have the plant. Let's go.
Victor loses that fight
Keep
against
pressure on
Benzine.
him.
Now he picks up the Vandal, and he gets 3 kills.
All right.
I like the
Hey,
audacity there.
still got
Energy
2.
just were
That's a
not
good amount.
giving up
Sure, it's not the
site, and it
majority.
did make Furia
Doesn't
think
change
for a few
anything, though.
moments,
It's
like,
still a good
wait, but
amount.
No, we have Spectres and Vandals. Let's go. Pushing forward, finalizing the kills on that round. Once they got situated, unfortunate there. Crashies gets taken out right at the last moment. And yeah, getting that Vandal coming out on second round of the second half. You can tell how much that Furia want to secure these rounds. Another Vandal for Digizine. Mazine has one as well. So they'll work around those here for the bonus. Very likely that they can get these to find the first frag and convert the 5v4. Oh. Okay.
Oh.
That's going to be a 4v3 now. If they can convert it. Very quick mid play. A lot of that first half we saw mid just being open. Left to anybody to rotate through in the extremities or the game. But already in the second half we see teams testing each other here for control.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bro,
that's
keep
big.
going.
They still want this space.
Get the ace,
And
bro.
that's something that Furia has only done later into the half of the first half to get that mid control. For Energy, we want to do it right away. You saw that it looked like Fury were really flustered.
Right.
When we saw the player cams, but then they came in with confidence on that mid side. And then Artis had something else to say.
Just looking for some frags here. I mean, still have the Vandal, but they're going to be able to buy next round with this being Furia's bonus if we remember. So the more damage they can do, the happier that they are. Spike's still down, so we're going to see this one time out as they move around the map to get these kills. Energy, they have played so strong on the attack sides, and seeing their defensive side not be as strong is such a question for them. I remember Chet and Artis talking about how some of the fundamentals weren't clicking for them, and that was just the reason things fell apart. I think they're still ironing out a few of those defensive side things, but the attack, that's looking pretty good for Energy.
When the clock ticking down, Benzine saving his weapon. Only 1,000 credits by saving your weapon here and losing. But as you mentioned here, Riv, everybody's going to be able to buy for Furia into the next round.
Yeah.
We'll see if Digizine wants to bring out that op.
Oh, you know he wants to.
On the attack,
does he have the credit? Yep. I mean, I feel like he always does. It won't be for this round. Yeah, it would be different. We do see Digizine in previous matches when it got down to the end. He was going for Vandal. He was more with the team diving forward. So that could be easily the play style that they go for here, so they can continue to take the sites and not have to have at least Mazine on the flank and Digizine out of the play. You want that guy right in the mix. Low armor buy here, facilitating a little bit more economy for Furia as they know this is going to be a tough match to climb back to 9.
Yeah, only 50 credits short for Digizine to be able to get that operator. So he's going to opt for the Vandal, grouped up with 2 of his teammates. As for NRG's end, still playing off information, off reaction from turret to alarm bot and to flashes on both extremities. Digizine still looking for timing. Got the body shot there onto some armor is gone. And Victor, both him and Finesse push forward into Belong to punish Benzine on alert. So that will now force Furia to rush into the A side with no A main control. Especially as Khalil falls with 2 players greeting him right there.
Dash or not, Digizine fearlessly heading in the site and the trades back and forth. Energy finds
You know what I was thinking about?
on top with numbers.
You could just shave the 0 off of the end of all the prices and stuff.
That's something you like to see now
Because
for
like
Energy's end, because
there's
a lot of
no
these moments where you're able to
like you're never gonna end up
get
with
rounds
anything
into your
other
favor
than a
has
0
been
at the end,
around
right? So you could just
those
shave the 0 off.
protocols.
So instead of
Like this
9,000
right
being
here,
the max,
double
it's
swing
900.
to secure at least a trade. But when you don't need to do trades,
'Cause,
when you have
like,
players that are winning duels right now,
there's no need
that's
for-
going to help too in the confidence to close off the series for Energy.
I
Which
don't
now
know.
already another time
I guess it just makes the
is
numbers
being
look
called
bigger.
by Furia.
To 3 rounds go
I
very
get it.
fast, especially
I
if
get
a
it.
loss comes in on any of them, and that's all that Energy needs here to win. So Carlisle going to get a voice in there right now to see what they can do. A lot of ultimates to come online. They can try to focus with Mazine's Viper Pit if they get in, or the Reckoning. Do you want to get to the site, right? Can Mazine get one and then you hold the site? So maybe considering what that first orb does, if they take it slow, we've seen Furia be able to play these rounds and so well from even 4v5. If we remember back to Bind, they kept winning their 4v5s. They have one of the highest percentage of winning a 4v5. So if they can take it slow, get the A orb, move back to B, and then execute maybe QCK's Reckoning or Mazine's ult after plant, I think they have a great idea to flip this game back over on Energy.
Could definitely see that being one of the main sites, one of the winning conditions, at least for this round for Furia, is to get that orb onto QCK, clearing out that site, then deciding if you want to put that pit down or not.
Exactly.
And that is going to be control of the B side orb. Cloudburst on the ground to avoid the flash. Actually, that's nice, but
super sweet.
Unfortunately, the shot wasn't as. It allows Fury
Come
to
on.
move forward. Digizine down to 3 HP though. Yet the orb never really got picked up. Artist gets another shot down towards a B-Link lurk, and there's that Reckoning. But the Reckoning's out on the defender's half instead, trying to punish them back, trying to keep them back. Interesting enough, the orb being picked up by NW0 instead.
1 minute left. Could Mazine actually grab this and pit towards A, and then they get the hit? Like we said, taking the round longer. Furia does so well when they can sword again, call an audible, and get this mid-round strat to just get Energy off their game.
Just want to maximize the amount of ultimates you're going to get in this round or the next. Our Furia. The one way being popped up by Finesse. As a bird swings by and flies across.
30 seconds left.
In A already. Mazine's ready. Doesn't have the Viper's Pit, but they're taking so much space off this contact. Furia do this so damn well.
Look at that ping towards the window. Last time Crashies did get a kill there, but Mazine decides to continue to move forward.
Nice.
Crashies is actually behind the site to support Som.
10 seconds.
Flashing about 10 seconds left on the clock. Finesse
Nice.
does get the kill on the Digizine. No platforms. A team ace out for Energy.
A little bit of tracking being done the whole round by Energy to slowly lean from side to side. They choose correctly with the gamble towards A there, with just a bit of information gained across the map. And that one went down to the pressure cooker round. So your choice has to be, oh my, okay. We could have not shown that. I feel a little sick now. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Energy come up with that. Team ace around the board, so you know everybody was getting to the rotation quick enough.
Get out of my way.
And now Bladestorm, operator online.
The flash and the peek out the Bladestorm, 1-for-1.
Good trade.
Good trade, good trade.
Still being hunted, still being chased. The uptrap out from the
Nice.
Digizine, but it's saved by Finesse. Now even a Trailblazer clear out towards Art. Just delays now. What else can you do here for Furia? High tied up and all 3 players already there, so time to try to move in. Finesse hears the footsteps trying to get the spray through the high tide, and there's that Viper Pit.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Spamming them down.
Lee Spike is planted. No utility here for Finesse, but there is flashes available. First one being used by Crashies. Second one for a 4-player push inside.
Finesse, knowing the angles he can find around this Viper wall, tries to prime those for an attack. 4v2 on this.
Right click misses, but the shorty does get the kill, traded off by the turret. Now a real 2 versus 1 as the turret falls. The tap onto the
Nice.
the Victor kill.
Let's go.
Energy at map and series point.
All the way to the 3rd map. And now Energy on game point here.
Let's close it up. One more,
Furia
one more.
6 rounds here. 13-11 in favor of Energy on Bind. 13-11 in favor of Furia on Haven. And NRG come out swinging on map 3 to have nothing of it. A 12-6 score line here on game point. We'll see how they continue to push forward. It is just going to be the up again towards long. We, like you mentioned, saw a neat little artist smoke towards the ground with a cloudburst to try and deny all this utility that Jets see. So you can see little solutions being put into place for what Furia has to offer here. And now it's going to be that A main control. Khalil with the possibility to get ultimate, but Reckoning is ready. So they're looking to use that on the side of Furia.
Come on.
Early Seekers,
Close
not
it
too
up.
much info
Let's
other
close
than
it
what
up.
NRG already knew.
Yeah.
Nice. Push them back.
Rashida Seekers going a little bit deeper around the corner of
They're
A
wasting
long.
so much time right now.
Now puts NRG back into a rotate to play the default spots. Everybody was really gambling towards the A side. You saw the early rotate coming out from Artis. And now he repositions. Out towards B long. But as you mentioned, the Seekers out from Crashies, we still have it.
I don't know if they should go mid here. I feel like NRG is just gonna.
And used.
They've got such a big choke point to link.
A quick lurk down long B, and this rest of the hit's gonna go all the way back to A.
And that's Crashies. A dash away from Digizine, allowing QCK to pick up that kill. Reckoning going inside the site, and Som's trying to find the timing here. Reckoning now disappears, and Som moves inside the site just by the dugout. The first one, the kill from behind. It thought the site was clear, gets the wall bang on a second.
Nice.
Up to 2 players left now for Furia to keep the dream alive. Make that even one. Instantly stopped and denied by NRG. As the race continues for this team to secure a playoff spot, and Furia still had to fight, still had to win another game to try to secure their own playoff spot.
And what a round again by
GG.
Finesse in the back of the site. Pivotal. And
All
being
right.
able to control anything past the coffee shop and A, past default plant, and there, staying silent to stay deadly. Nobody was even looking at him on the site take. They
Put it in.
were leading Furia's game
I want to
so
see it. I want to
well
see.
onto Pearl. After we had two
I want to see
13-11s,
NRG up
I
there.
expected another close one, but
There we
NRG
go.
had that
Alright, that's
distance
gonna be
in
it from
them
me
now.
for today, though.
Seems so much more
Thank you so much for
comfortable
watching.
getting
I'll be
down to
back
the
on
maps. We saw
Wednesday
everybody fragging around the
North
board
American
above
Challengers. Thank you guys so much for watching
Let's talk
today's
about
live
those
stream. If you
Packers
guys did
once
enjoy,
again. At
be
least
sure to
on
scroll down.
Furia's short end of the
See
stick.
if you're subscribed. If you are, thank you so much. If you aren't, I'd hope you would consider it.